Ooh, it's Wednesday, isn't it? That's right. World Building Wednesdays. The most favorite day of all world builders on Twitch, of all world builders elsewhere. I don't know how many of them are not on Twitch, because if you're world building and you don't have a giant D&D game to play that you don't actually get to play because you can't schedule your players, I don't know what you're doing. So, I don't know. What's up, guys? Good morning. Good to see you all. What is up? It is the middle of the week, which means if you haven't played D&D yet this week, I can't help you, bro. We got to figure that out. Like, we got to get you in a game because, like, it's Wednesday. What are you going to do? Play on Thursday or Friday? You better. Because weekend D&D, I think, is overrated. I think I'm done with weekend D&D. It's over. I'm done. I'm never playing D&D on the weekend ever again. Nope. Nope. Players are too distracted. They got things to do. Ooh, I got Sunday dinner with the family. What do you mean with Sunday dinner with the family? You got kobolds to kill. You know? Midweek D&D is where it's at, I think. Is like Wednesday, Thursday night is the best form of it. So I will not be playing D&D tonight, but I do have my game tomorrow. So I'm very excited about that. I have to do some art for it, actually. Some secret art that I can't do on stream, just in case my players do a thing. I also have to build a dungeon, and I completely forgot about that until this very moment. You know what? I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget. Ah, shit. God damn it. Hold
a better
on.
Example for Silvervale viewers, Serratia liquefations.
Dungeon. What? Hold on. Hold on. I didn't even hear what that was, what that pronunciation was.
I've played D&D 2 times and ran a game, so total of 3 games since Monday.
You played 3 times since Monday. What the fuck is there? You don't need therapy. You're playing D&D. You're doing every millennial 30-something-year-old nerd does. I play D&D instead of have a therapy bill. What the fuck is this? The average Silvervale viewer is... Come on, man. You can't... Bro, you can't just call the average Silvervale viewer bacteria. What is...
I don't have anything to say. I just wanted to add to the train.
All right. Thank you for the bits, DC. I appreciate it. Thank you, Azura. Thank you, Aduria, for the bits. I appreciate it, guys. What a way to start the stream. Goddamn. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I don't know if Silvervale viewers appreciate Aduria referring to them as bacteria, but I guess it might take one to know one. So, you know what? We have to rank it. We have to rank it. I'm gonna say, like, on the VTuber viewer scale, it's probably like a 9.3. I think it ranks pretty high. Definitely higher than like any sort of frog or shrew or whatever. You know, yeah, man. Okay, listen. I don't know what happened in Silvervale's chat one time, but I guess Adaria never recovered from it. I certainly didn't either. So, good to have you. You said the shrew wasn't slimy enough, so I went full slime. No, you're right. You're right. I mean, I don't know what I expected. You're completely right. You're completely fair, completely on point with that. So, yeah, man, that's about what I expect.
Streptococcus.
Bunch of streptococcus. What the fuck is that? Is that a bacteria? We can't just keep calling VTuber viewers bacteria. Come on, bro. We can't do that. We're gonna get canceled. I listen. I'm friends with the VTubers. I don't want Ashy and Ulner and Fishy and Amma in my chat thinking that I'm calling their chat bacteria. Come on, man. I don't want to do that. Not at least until Friday. Happy Group is moving. Wait, has moving, working, or school schedules. Yeah. That's the problem with being an adult. You have things to do that's not D&D, and then D&D doesn't get done.
But I mean, if you think about both are 2D.
Wait, he's right. Wait, he's right. Wait, guys, DC's right. Hold on. Yeah, wait, they're both PNGs at this point in time. It's flat enough. It may as well be 2D. Shit, I don't know what to say to that. Besides, you're right, and I guess I have no defense for it. I think they're gonna come after us, so we gotta be careful, man.
I know Life DND. I have a total of 12 campaigns per week. 1 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday, 1 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. And yes, I do somehow manage to make it to all of these. And yes, I am addicted. Is there a AA for DND like Adventurers Anonymous or something?
Well, thank you for 100 bits, DC and Azura. Is that the record for anyone in the Dragon's Claim for games per week? Because I think the record was 9 games. It was 6 games for a while. I remember it was 6 games. I remember it was Croc, I think, with 6 games a week. And I was like, wow, you're almost playing every single day.
How the fuck do you play 3 games in a single day?
I don't, dude. Ask us. What the fuck? I don't know, man. Like on Saturday, I guess you wake up, you play a 10 o'clock game till like 1. You play a 3-hour D&D game to 1. Then you do like a 2 to 5, another 3-hour game. And then you like play another. I don't know, man. Listen. It was 6 games a week for a long time, and I'm pretty sure that the record holder was Croc. And then it might have been Entities or somebody. I forget who it was. I'm sorry. Who had a 9 game. They said they played 9 games, and that was the record. Is 9 games a week. It's like I was impressed. I didn't think anyone would beat that. That's playing D&D every single day, plus 2 days they played twice. So they played I think it was Entities. I might be wrong with that. I'll ask Entities next time I see them in chat. It was 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, and I thought that was the highest anyone could go. You know, because people got to have jobs or they got school or some shit, man. Like who has like I didn't think you could go over, but I guess yeah, if you're just playing every single day and then twice some nights after work or something. I don't know, man. I don't know how it works. That's incredible. That's actually incredible. I think you're the record holder, Azura. I think 12 D&D games is the most D&D that anyone's ever admitted to playing every single week. That's actually impressive. So congratulations, you win that award. I'm not sure if you wanted it, but it is now yours and you can't say no to it. So you played like 6 games in as many years. That's a lie, but still, I mean, look, I feel it though. I feel playing, you know, you play once every 3 years with the boys or some shit. I get it, you know. I think you'd add one more game with Elvin and Eldara, dude. Oh man, I'm even having trouble balancing 2 games a week with all the work and shit I gotta do. You ever feel like you just don't have time for anything? I don't know. I've been feeling that recently. I feel like I don't have time for anything, you know? Like I wake up and I feel like I'm going from like 6:30 a.m. I'm marching forward doing stuff. And then all of a sudden it's 9:30 p.m. and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? What just happened? You know, that's how it goes. I didn't check my TikTok this morning though, so I don't know how it did. But I did post the piece from yesterday. So let's see. TikTok. Watch trending videos for you. No, thank you. Your profile view. Oh, that's a lot of alerts. Whoa. Yo, it did well. Look at it, man. 1,400 views between 10 p.m. and today, and I got like 10 followers or some shit out of that. Damn, bro. 164 likes. Yo, people actually like the landscape. Okay, sick. Not bad. I had such a time trying to figure out how to edit it yesterday because I was so close to just like messaging Bizzo for help. I exported the video. It worked fine. I got a 8 gig 3 hour long video out of it, and it was way too high a bit rate, so it was way too big, and it was also the wrong format, so Premiere wouldn't take it. That's fine. I tried it on my phone, wouldn't CapCut wouldn't take it. So what I had to do is I had to download VLC Media Player. I had to change or convert the file to an MP4, and then I had to do it again with the proper resolution because it just stretched it out. So I had to do that. It was like almost an hour per export, per conversion. So I had to do that. And I had to put it in Premiere and speed it up. But the thing is, in Premiere, you can't speed something up past 10,000%. I'm sure there's a way, but I just don't know how to do it. So I sped it up to a 2-minute video. Exported that as an MP4, took it on my phone, sped it up to a 20-something second video, posted it on TikTok. It was such a hassle, man. But I figured out a bunch of stuff so I can do it. I can do it properly today for the piece I'm going to be doing today. I figured it out because for some reason, Vertical and OBS was trying to export as an MKV file, which it needs to not do, you know. So I had to change that. So I changed that, and I also lowered the bitrate of the videos. So thankfully, it's going to hopefully export properly today whenever I do the next video. But man, that was the whole thing. I was 21 yesterday, and now I'm almost 27. What the fuck? That happens, bro. Yeah, that happens. There's certain blocks of my life that feel like they were just like slogged by, and certain blocks that just disappeared. Like, I'll admit, like 18 to 24 felt like it took forever. I felt like it took forever, man. And then like 24 to 34 has just, it just flew by. Because I remember a couple years ago, like when I was first starting streaming, I decided that I wanted to start doing this again and take my art seriously and do whatever and bullshit. And I was going to turn 30 soon. So I was like, I'm going to get on this. And then I just had my 34th birthday. I was like, wait, where did the last 4 years of Twitch go? Being of 4 years on Twitch, what's up, Bluff? Thank you for the 41 months. What's up, dude? Damn it, Bluff. You almost been sub since the beginning. What the fuck? Thank you for the sub, Bluff. How you doing? What's up? Good to see you. Brother, I'm freshly out of uni and looking to do summer job. I feel like I have 3 to 4 hours a day, even though I don't do shit. Damn, bro. Yeah, it's not a lot of time, you know? He just disappears. He vanishes. You use clip for those? I might actually. Like, honestly. I might if for the little sketches that I record for like TikToks and shit, if I'm doing that kind of project and it's not something I'm painting out like or whatever, I'm just doing sketches like I am today or yesterday, I might actually switch to clip because yeah, I don't know why other software just can't have a recording function in it like clip does, so that sucks. I might. I'm exhausted but doing fine. I've finished my first year of university. We have a degree show tomorrow. So congratulations, first of all, Bluff. Congratulations. I remember but a couple years ago when you were a wee art school student or aspirant in high school, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for making through your first university year. That's very impressive. I was very excited for you when you said you were going to, you know, a school big fancy far away. Are you going home for the summer, or are you staying in across the pond? Because man, that's got to be an adventure. If you just get like a couple of weeks or a couple of months or whatever, that to just stay home or just stay indoors or whatever in a different country while not at school, that'd be pretty sick. But if you're going home, that's pretty sick too, because I know you probably miss your family, you probably miss your I don't know, American fast food. I don't know what people miss in America. I'd miss my fast food every time I go somewhere like Japan or whatever. I miss my fast food. I do. I miss it. You know. Maybe it's for the best though. Applying for 1 year, 5 months. That's impressive, dude. I feel like I literally just showed up. I've been here for a whole year and a half. Yeah, I mean, time just has disappeared over the last couple of years, but I kind of like that. You know, I kind of like. I don't know. It feels like I'm getting something done in life. You know, I still don't have my adventure ready 4 years later. Soon TM. Soon TM. I miss my country's fast food too. You miss your country's fast food? Country? Yeah, I don't know. I like going to American fast food when I'm in America because of the novelty. But like, American fast food's also kind of rough because it doesn't taste real. I don't know. I don't want to like just jump on the meme of shitting on American food or whatever, but I do think it's unfortunate. There's a lot of like American fast food that like for instance, I'll give you the one example I always think of. Chicken McNuggets in America don't taste real to me. Canada, they're not much better, but they are better. And then somewhere elsewhere in the world, like Japan, I've been to a chicken McNugget in Japan. I was like, wait, is this chicken? Wait, is this real chicken? What the fuck? So I think it's interesting, you know. But it's fine. It's fine. I shouldn't be eating fucking chicken McNuggets anyway. So How hot is it in your region? We're getting 36 today. I'm melting. Ooh, Thorkin, it is currently 4 degrees out. It's 4 degrees, and we're getting a high of 9 today. Yeah, I'm jealous. I want the heat, man.
Hello, locker folks.
Yeah. Oh shit,
How is
Xander.
it going, y'all?
Yo, what's up, bro? Wait, I haven't been shoved in the locker in a while. Come on, man. What's up, Xander? Good to see you, dude. How you been? What's up? Damn, thanks for the 39 months. I appreciate it. Good to see you, dude. It's been a while. If American food is good, why isn't there an American food too? Ooh, good point, Ashy. Ashy, what is the best quality American fast food? What should I be trying when I'm down there in the US? Because I feel like I'm not giving it a chance. You know, like I go to McDonald's or whatever, the local shit or some shit. But like, there's got to be something that's better in America than there is in Canada. That's like good, decent example of like Americana.
I feel like
you
theatre
know?
major and D&D go together, lol. So here I am, a junior in college with like 18 credits to my name because I keep getting sick and burning out. And yes, the 12 D&D games may be related, but they are the only thing keeping me sane, lol. When I was in Urinetown, the musical for my school was pretty cool.
The fuck? Is that a real thing? Well, listen, Azura, you know, you just gotta keep going. Keep going. Sometimes at the university or college or whatever, post-secondary, the name of the game is endurance. It is just about getting through it. So you got this. Maybe play a little bit less D&D when you have like classes that are going on. But if you don't have classes right now and you're just chilling, then fucking play your D&D. It's helping you as a theater major, you know? It's legit. So usually the heat but 70% humidity is rough. I'm weird, Thorkin. I like humidity in heat. I love it. I don't like dry heat. I've been in almost 40 degree weather, which is like, I don't know, close to 100-ish American, in Nevada and in Japan. Nevada had like no humidity. Japan had like a ridiculous amount of humidity. I much preferred the humidity in Japan than I did the dryness. I don't get this whole shit about dry heat being good, man. I like it. I like it. I like feeling like I'm in a jungle, you know? Am I weird? Your chair is leather? Okay, never mind. That's okay, never mind. That's pretty bad. You need a spatula to get you off your chair at the end of the day. Ugh, God, that's rough, man. Whataburger, American food too. I'm good, honestly. Started a new job recently. Oh shit! Congratulations, Xander. That's awesome, dude. I hope it's good. Hope you're making friends there. Look it up. Like I don't know if I want to look it up. I'm scared. Shake it. Is Whataburger anywhere outside of Texas? I thought Whataburger was only in Texas. Is it an exclusive thing, or can you get Whataburger in like California or whatever? The point of American fast food is knowing it's garbage, but like in a good way. This food has been significantly engineered to be addictive and satisfying. Like McNuggets taste like plastic, absolutely, but that's the point, because you eat 20 of them with corn syrup dipping sauce and then collapse in food coma. So here's the thing. I do understand. I relate ish, because Ella has this thing, Ashley, when we go to Disney, where she says that she only likes Disney churros because she likes the chemical taste in them. We went to some fancy like Mexican restaurant in Calgary like a summer or two ago, and we got like authentic whatever fancy, you know, churros, whatever, like fancy ass $20 churros, real delicious churros. And Ella's eating it and she's like, it's okay. I'm like, what's wrong with it? It's delicious. It's like a beautifully fried piece of dough with this amazing dipping sauce and like cinnamon and sugar and whatever. And it's this whole platter thingy of fancy fucking expensive overpriced millennial, you know, food blog churros. And she's like, it just doesn't have the right chemical taste. You know, it needs the chemical taste. I was like, okay, all right. So maybe that's the thing, Ashley. I guess there's a charm to it that I'm just like, what do I eat that I like the fakeness of it? Maybe free cheese. I think free cheese, you want it to be as fake as possible. You know, like when people make like real queso. You don't want real queso. You don't want like, oh, this is like an 8 cheese queso I made on the stove for like our like Super Bowl party. No, I want free cheese. You know when you go to 7-Eleven and you buy the thing of nachos? You buy the thing of nachos and they got the big machine next to it and it says free cheese on it. And you just like crank the shit and it gets the free cheese in your nacho tray or whatever. That's the good stuff. So I will admit, maybe there's some things with chemical that are better. They're meant to be fancier, $20. Well, Listen, this is 20 Canadian, Guapo, so it's different over here. Evan, have a mask buff character has done wonders for anatomy for drawing skills. Having a paladin rectangle of a man has brought my art to a new level. The thing is, McBluff, it's about diversity. Okay, so that's good you're adding that in, because the problem is, McBluff, when I was first learning how to draw like anatomy when I was like 12 or 13 years old, I learned from Dragon Ball Z. So I didn't know how to draw a dude that wasn't jacked until I was like in art school. Like it was, dude, it wasn't good. Macca's Burger, what's that? American Chocolate's a good example. That's a good, actually great example, actually. Velveeta, help me get over the over-reliance on the triangle body shape for athletic men and the idea of a strong, visible abs. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I like to see it if you've posted it. Go to Mexico, you can get like 10 churros and chocolate dip for the same price. Dude, I am never going to Mexico. I'm never going to Mexico. I'll admit it, man. I'm just never going. I don't trust it. Like, I just don't, man. It's too dangerous for me. I'm a little bitch about it. You know how often I hear it's like tourists beheaded and thrown into a well? I'm like, I'm good, man. I'm just not gonna go to Mexico. Oh, Esmond, Cozumel is fine. You just don't want to go to like certain places in Mexico. You know what? I don't care enough to see it. I don't care enough to see it. It's fine. I'm good. I'm skipping on all Mexico trips, which I've had opportunities to go on free trips to Mexico. I've had opportunities over the last like decade or so here and there to go to Mexico with like family or whatever, or friends like, oh, yo, I got this condo or whatever, you know, you just have to pay for your flights and I got points, so it's free. It's like, I always turn it down. I just don't want to go. I'd love to see it. I'm just too much of a bitch when it comes to travel. Right? The roughest place that I'm willing to go to is like Anaheim, California. I don't know, man. It then comes out of a pump pack that isn't sauce is cursed. Oh, so chicken McNuggets. Okay, great. A Butterfinger is not chocolate or peanut butter. It's high quality fudge. You win every time. That's true, actually. You're right about that.
NGL, that's like a European hearing about Chicago and then not going to anywhere in the United States.
I know. I'm aware. I'm fully aware. Like, I get it. You know? I 100% get it. I do. Because you roll your eyes every single time somebody from like fucking Denmark or whatever is just like, oh, I'd never go to America. I don't want to get shot. It's like, okay, like you'll be fine. Like you'll be okay. I get it. I do. I really do. But I don't know where to go in Mexico that's safe. And everyone has a different idea. So I just skip out on it, you know? It's like, if I want to go sit on a beach and overpay for some shit, I'll do it in Hawaii. I got family there. I'll go stay there for free. What the fuck is in Mexico that isn't in Hawaii that I want to go see? I mean, there's lots of stuff in Mexico I'd love to go see. Lots of cultural stuff and fucking pyramids and shit. You know? I love to go see that shit. But like, supposedly all the stuff I want... I grew up with a friend who was from Mexico. And she was like, Evan, you promised me you're never going to go to interior Mexico. I was like, okay, fine. I promise you. She's like, unless you're gonna, I'll take you myself one day. We'll go see some pyramids, but unless you're coming with me, please just stay at the resorts. And I was like, okay, fine. So I don't know. When it comes to the resorts, like I don't want to go to the resorts in Mexico. I don't want to go to the fucking see some shitty ass resorts. I want to go see some shit, you know? I want to go eat some churros with Guapo off of like, you know, some weird sketchy side street or something, you know? I want to go see real Mexico, but apparently the parts of Mexico I want to go to are not the safe parts. It's the safe parts that are fine for tourists are not the great parts to go to. So I don't know enough about it. I'll just pass on it, you know? Plenty of warm climates that I'd want to go see. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it one day. Thank you, Lurk Talladeg. I appreciate it. Let me find some examples of biodiversity in my characters recently. I'll share them in studies. Yeah, please do. The Yucatan Peninsula is great. Generally safest. I don't know. See, I don't even know where that is. Like, I don't know shit about Mexican geography, bro. You got no Spanish to go to interior Mexico, but Yucatan Peninsula is fine. Yeah, I also can't speak Spanish. So there's that too. I don't like going to countries when I can't speak any of the language, you know? Like, I really want to go take a trip to Italy soon-ish in my life, like before I'm, you know, 40, like in the next 5 or so years. But I don't speak any Italian. I need to fix that so I can do that shit. So, I don't know. It's ironic that I go to Mexico and not the USA. Yeah, I mean, sure. You know, I just don't know where to go in Mexico. I think overall the U.S. is just fine. I think the nice thing about the U.S. is it's very obvious where you're not supposed to go. You know, there's places in the U.S. that I'd absolutely not walk into, 100%. There's places in Canada that I wouldn't walk into. There's a neighborhood in the city I grew up in Calgary that I like didn't drive into ever. You know, there's an entire quadrant of Calgary that I try not to go to. So it's like that anywhere, you know. But the things I just don't know enough about Mexico to know where to go. It's safe or not. And I don't want to go to like Cozumel and just sit on the fucking beach and fuck around the resorts. No, if I'm gonna do that, I'll do it for a lot less money in Maui or something. Speaking of masculine buff characters, today's project I have a very important character that we're gonna draw that I'm gonna try. I might have to record this in 2 parts because I don't think we'll get it done in one day. We might marathon through this. I might be able to punch it and like actually get this shit done. But this is Zephyrin Soul. He is a classless NPC who is a scholar. He is a history buff, and part of the very first Horizon campaign is you actually take him somewhere. Excuse me. You take him somewhere to go do a thing that's very important. But I guess a little bit about his story. He, without spoiling what you do in the adventure, basically there is a unpopular sort of counterpoint opinion to history that you have to investigate the legitimacy of, and you do that with a sort of nerdy, younger, trying his best researcher who's a childhood friend of Luna. That, I mean, I need to have art for. He's one of the 4 NPCs I need to have art for. He's not a no, stop. He's not a barbarian. I don't. Come on, man. He's skinny. He's so skinny and lanky. Come on, who wants a lanky barbarian? Come on, bro. I once had to draw a barbarian for somebody actually, and as lanky ass barbarian, and this chick, she wanted me to draw a barbarian for her, and she was like, make her thinner. I'm like, okay. Make her thinner. I'm like, okay. She's like, make her thinner. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. She's like supermodel thin. I'm like, doesn't she have a strength 18? And she's like, I don't care. Make her thinner. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. So I ended up making a joke about Lanky Kong from Donkey Kong Adventures, but whatever. Where are the cat ears? Yeah. I need to draw. I need to get back there, Xander. Mexicans who grew up outside Mexico know nothing about Mexico, TBH. They're biased by their parents' fears and views and fears. Maybe that's true. I mean, she grew up in my friend grew up in Mexico until she's about like I met her in middle school. So I guess she spent like 10 years in Mexico. Had pretty negative opinions about where she lived, but I think where she lived, specifically Guapo, was pretty bad. She had a lot of really dark stories with the cartels and something with her older sister and whatever. So I wouldn't say they know nothing about Mexico, but I do understand that there is that sort of idea, that viewpoint when somebody leaves, you know, they don't necessarily have like a fair viewpoint of it, you know. So I did consider that whenever she'd complain about stuff, or more importantly, her mom would complain about stuff. But I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'd like to go to Mexico. I'd like to see it. I like to see that entire area. There's places in South America I desperately want to see, you know. But it's just so weird. Like I just don't know. Like I'm so admittedly much of a little bitch when it comes to travel that I just don't want to go like I mean, like I'll go to Japan, you know. I'll go to South Korea, you know, but I ain't going to Hong Kong. Like the most dangerous place I'll go to in Asia is maybe I'll see Taiwan. Right, I had a friend who wanted me to go to stop in the Philippines with him, but he was like, you know what, maybe we should do that. Maybe we should just go straight to Tokyo. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm sure a lot of these places are fine. It's tough when you have friends or people from there or whatever, that you gotta figure out where is safe, where you can go, where you can do stuff. I don't know. I want to go explore it. It always makes people mad when you say like, oh, I wouldn't go to your country. Like when Europeans say, I would never go to America, it's too dangerous. Americans are like, fuck you. And Americans are just like, oh, I'd never go to Belgium. It's too dangerous, you know? So I get it's all, a lot of it's like, hold on, I'm trying to move this shit around. I'm gonna get ready to hit record. I get it's probably a lot safer than you think. And, you know, no matter where it is. But I'd have to do research. I'd have to know about it. I'd have to learn about it. There's places I would probably go to if convinced, but there's also places I would never probably go to. You know? Let's see Hong Kong at some point. Yeah, I mean, it's great, but there's a lot of in Western Canada, there's a lot of negative sentiment about Hong Kong after the sort of the mainland takeover. There's a lot of people from Vancouver and like all my friends that I grew up with and that I know and like from university, all my like friends that are Chinese are all from Hong Kong because that diaspora is huge in Western Canada, in Vancouver and Calgary. So like we never hear Mandarin spoken here. It's always Canto, you know? So they've got a very pretty negative sentiment about what's happening in Hong Kong right now, and that it's like no longer safe, and that the only safe China you can go see is Taiwan now. But that's like old China. It's like old traditional shit. So I don't know, man. I'd love to travel more. For instance, there are so many Mexicans in Texas who barely speak Spanish and just inherit their parents' biased opinions. Not great. I could see that. Yeah, especially if you've never grown up in it. Guapo, I could definitely see it. Since they moved as a kid, immigrant, especially by fear, definitely a traumatic experience. Yeah, that's. I always wondered, like it was weird. Like, I don't want to like be too dark on stream, but like she never wanted to talk about it. But something, what I knew is that something happened involving the cartels, her dad and her older sister, and then she like had this. She basically like got me and all of her friends to swear never to go to that part of Mexico. So I don't know. Should go to Belgium not because of the safety. That's fair. That's entirely fair. You know. Those nasty waffles are dangerous. Yeah, who knows, man. I'd love to go see Europe. There's countries in Europe that I'd love to go see, and countries that I like don't think I would give a shit about, that I hope that I would give a shit about, you know? Like that I'd want to be surprised by. Right? I don't know. I want to go travel Europe. It's just so expensive. It's so expensive to fly across the Atlantic. If I'm going to fly across the Atlantic, I'm going to go buy a Gundam in Japan anyway. Just go the other way. Can I say something about this art? Promise you won't shoot me? Absolutely, Jacob. You can say whatever you want. I'll probably be very nice about it. Whatever criticisms you have, pretend to acknowledge it. But having made up my own opinions about my art already, I will probably disregard whatever criticism it is. But I will 100% do my absolute best to seem like I'm taking. No, I'm just kidding. I'm giving you shit. I'm giving you shit. Which Hogwarts house is he in? Fair. Listen, that's fair, and I deserve it. All right, hit the record button. Boom. Sick. All right, we're doing it. So I'm gonna try and draw Endymion today. We're gonna try and make him look like a scholar. I gotta actually do some design on him first, because we don't actually have a full idea of what he's gonna look like. I just thought like scholar and big scarf is how I've always like referred to him when it comes to the players. So I gotta actually design him out a little bit. Figure out what we're gonna do. But as family fled to the US when he was 13, and he was mute for a couple years after, if he's going to go back to Latin America. Damn, bro. Yeah, I mean, like, I get it, you know? It is also a news thing, right? Like people getting hurt in Mexico, like Canadian tourists killed in Mexico is it's like a constant news story. That there's a lot of Canadians that have a pretty negative sentiment about it. It's one of those things that, like, you know, you go. Like, I think that like hearing Europeans talk about America is like really eye-opening, because you realize, like, when you hear Europeans talk about how dangerous they think America is, or people from outside of North America, and you're like, you have no idea what you're talking about, because your like news and culture and family has made you think America is this like deadly wasteland. Like, okay, I get it. What's my bias then? What is my news and my culture telling me about other places in the world that isn't true? And I always know that, like I said, I qualified my whole statement about how I'll probably never really have a chance to go to Mexico with, I know it's like a weird bias. And I wonder that sometimes. It's like, where is it that you grow up and you learn, like, oh, you never want to go this place or that place or whatever, you know, because it's too dangerous. We don't like them there. And I try and like think about that and think about like, well, where is it that in the world that I've always thought is too dangerous or whatever that I never like venture off to. You know, like there's a lot of people weirdly that told me when I was going to Japan to be careful. And it was a lot of ignorance. Like, oh, you gotta be careful in Japan. They'll pick your pocket there. And I'm like, in Japan? The fuck? Are you in Japan, really? But all these like boomers, like I remember my parents were worried. They weren't like don't go. I remember my mom or something, or maybe my dad or somebody was like, you gotta be careful if you're in Japan. You gotta be trapped. Don't put anything in your back pocket.
Rage,
like, what?
I remember I tried to get you to design you a male character. However, you were busy, and I accept that part.
Yeah, that's fair, man. I need more people to request it. So soon, man, soon. I'm gonna be drawing. People are gonna hopefully ask me to draw dudes again. So, what's up, Rob? Thanks for the bits, man. That's fair. Yeah, I always wonder about that, Guapo. It's like what small little, you know, slice of the world do we have access to that we think is the safe or whatever, the right way to do things, that limits our view from like there's tons of places in the world that I want to see. I'm just like nervous to. Like you know where I really want to go that I'd be too nervous to go, like without knowing a lot about the local whatever, is Southeast Asia. There's a ton of like in that entire region, you know, from Thailand and Vietnam, that whole area, that I want to see a lot of that history, and I want to go there and particularly go there to draw shit. But I don't know enough about the region to actually, or any of the language to be able to go. And I'd have to learn about it. And I wonder how much the bias of like, ooh, I don't know what's going on there, and you always hear about how dangerous it is and whatever, and like, you know, I'd wonder, because the problem is people who say it's like safe to go somewhere, a lot of it's like anecdotal, you know? Like, you know what? I've never had a problem in Kabukicho in Tokyo. Right? Like, I've never had a problem in Kabukicho. It's this region in Shinjuku that's like the nightlife, red light district. It's actually pretty dangerous. It's pretty sus. But like, I've never had a problem in there. So if somebody's just like, but when someone's like, oh man, I don't know if like I really want to go see Shinjuku, but I hear it's like kind of dangerous. I try and remember that and think like, I think it's silly to say I won't go to Shinjuku because Kabukicho is dangerous. I start speaking a lot faster than my normal cadence when I'm on stream, and some words I just can't fucking do for some reason. Kabukicho is one of those words. And it's like, but I understand that it is dangerous. It is sus. It is not safe for people who don't know what's going on there, especially if you don't speak Japanese. It's like not good. Like, don't go to Kabukicho. It's not worth it. Don't go at night. Like, what the fuck? But like, it's very easy for me to dismiss and be like, I've been there 1,000 times and it's fine. But if you're like, I've never been to Japan before, that, you know, right? It's like, it's all about perspective, and I try and form a healthy perspective on stuff. And so even when I know something is like not necessarily the correct perspective, like maybe my perspective on a lot of South America, and like my nervousness of going to South and Central America, I know it's a lot of it's just like sort of what you grew up and learn, and I want to break that and I want to go, but there's just also certain things where it's like, man, I don't know. It's just, is it worth learning about this place or learning about whatever, just going here? Like, I don't know. Which is why I say I'll probably never go to Mexico. It's not because I think it's too dangerous and whatever, and I couldn't go, but whatever I would have to do to learn and make myself feel better about going, it's not like worth it, if that makes sense, unless I were to go with a friend or something, you know, which I'd love to one day. That'd be fucking sick. Our neighbors are actually, they just moved from Mexico and they go back all the time. And so she's always like bringing us shit and whatever. They're so sweet. Definitely no negative opinion about going back. So we have this impression that there is absolutely no social net in the US and corporations are close to being wage slave, if not already happening. Yeah, I mean, it's like the sort of modern day feudalism is happening everywhere, Xander. It's just what brand of it, you know? That's the thing. That's the perspective thing you got, that people sort of, it's like you think that your country's doing it so well because everybody's like your brand of poor, as opposed to like the other brand of poor. And then like, you know, it's this whole thing, man. People in Canada are aghasted by the US, and same thing's true with Americans of Canadians. And it's like, you just gotta kind of, I don't know, perspective is important, I think, because our perception of things is like really limiting. Perspective is the important thing to gain, in my opinion. and understanding when your perspective or your perception is like limiting your perspective, I think is an important thing to do as well. Back to work. All right, Rob, enjoy, man. I heard the Vancouver, BC druggies downtown will cut you. So Vancouver downtown is actually kind of dangerous. There's an area of downtown. It's like kind of east downtown that I don't go to when I go to Vancouver. It's like kind of east of the train station, like west of the Science Center. There's a big portion of Vancouver that like even the people that I know grew up in Vancouver, they're like, oh yeah, you just never go down to there. You never go down to Gastown or Hastings or whatever. Right? Like Surrey used to be like that. There's a place on east of Vancouver, not east downtown, but east of Vancouver called Surrey that used to be just the fucking crime-ridden whatever capital of BC. And it's cleaning up now, and so it's safe-ish. And that's all moved to an area called Port Coquitlam. And then, you know, so it is interesting knowing about that kind of stuff. And like, but like Vancouver's perfectly safe. You go to Vancouver, you walk around, you know, during the day at the very least anyway. Like any big city, it's a little more monka at night, but yeah, Vancouver is very safe. It's very chill, I think, if you're in the right places. I like Vancouver quite a bit. I'd move to Vancouver if I had the money, probably. I don't mind the rain. I like the green. That's the thing. People complain about Vancouver. They're like, oh my god, we get so many days of rain and clouds and it's so depressing in the winter. I'm like, bro, at least it's green. Like, I'm good. I'm Gucci with that. I'm super good with it being like, you know, gray and dreary outside for the entirety of winter because it's not fuck you cold. And it's at least green out. You know, all the grass is green, whatever. And that's a big thing for me. So, yeah, an issue with it, probably dangerous in reference to the rest of Japan, but it was fine. Well, yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. I mean, like, there's a lot of, like, if bad shit happens to tourists, it happens there. Which is why I say that if you don't feel safe going DC, I'm perfectly like people are like, there's nothing in that area of Shinjuku that I think is worth going if it makes you uncomfortable. Is what I tell people. You know, they're like, oh, I've heard it's like dangerous there. Like, would I be okay? I'm like, well, if you really want to see it, go for it. But like, if you're kind of concerned about it, then you're not missing out on anything. Like, you know, which is sort of like my view on Mexico. It's like if I'm just gonna go to a fucking like safe resort or whatever, like I don't care about going to see that in Mexico when I can go see that anywhere else. Like, no different to me if it's just a fucking resort. Yeah, I don't know, man. I want to go see places. I want to go do stuff, but a lot of it's also just really expensive to travel right now. For me, it's the magic realism of it. You can see why it flourished as a genre place in places like Colombia. It has this feeling like there are small rips of the Feywild around you. Nothing else is like it anywhere else I've lived. That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Also good news, I finally got into Gilgamesh. It only took a year, but I'm in.
You finally got to the Gilgamesh server? Oh, shit. Congratulations, man. I gotta check on my house today, actually. Hold on, I gotta write that down. I haven't checked my house in like 2 weeks. Hold on. Thanks for reminding me. FFXIV house. Dude, I'm so excited for Dawn Trail, even though I'm not gonna be able to play it when it comes out. I'm not gonna be through Shadowbringers. Or, sorry, Endwalker, I mean. A couple of indie places in Surrey, amazing food. Yeah, Surrey's okay now. It's like decent, you know. It's definitely not like what it was. Vancouver definitely does have a crime problem that is unique to them that places in Alberta and Saskatchewan, Manitoba don't have. But you know, people are gonna do what they do. They're gonna figure it out, I'm sure. This guy looks scholarly enough. Does he look like enough of a bookworm? I don't know, I feel like he looks too handsome. I should like dishevel him a little bit. It's like I don't want to admit that somebody can be both attractive and dorky. Better I just leave him as the attractive dorky bookworm from all my female followers. You know? I had a friend once say that. She's like, you know what you don't do enough of, Evan? I was like, what? She's like, stuff for the women in your audience. I was like, you know what? It's like those TikToks where they like break some ice, like for my male followers, and it's just like them like breaking some ice or doing something stupid or whatever.
Hot Milo.
Yeah, wait, what? Hot Milo? Who the fuck is Milo? The only Milo I know of is Milo from Prozac. Not even for the guild house like last week. Not sure if you were aware. Really? Oh, okay, hold on. I'm concerned now. I think it should be fine. I went in there like not too long ago. Hold on, let me go check right now. Oh, I can't. I'm recording. Oh shit. Ooh. Okay, I'll do it later. Okay. Okay, I'll do it later. Thanks for reminding me, Thork. I think it should be fine. So I went in like a little while ago. When everything was, yeah, no, I think it's good. I think it's good. Strong jawline for a scholar. Yeah, true. I'm sorry, I don't know how to draw unjacked dudes. Like, if you're drawing a dude and he isn't at least a Dragon Ball Z character, what's the point, man? Like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing in life? I want to give him some kind of necklace, but I don't know what. Some kind of like vaguely religious looking historical piece or whatever. Something like that. We'll figure it out. We're just doing the undersketch right now. Get the basics for it. From Atlantis? Oh, what? New focus strategy, just record the entire time? Yeah, actually though, right? Like, true. No cap. I'm so glad that people liked the landscape on TikTok and on the internet. I didn't see how to do it on Instagram. I think Instagram's harder. I don't think people like my stuff on Instagram as much. I don't get I don't get anywhere near the views on Instagram that I do on TikTok. Let's see. Let's see. Reels. Did this one do well? Oh shit! Wait, it did. Wait, that's decent. Like 200 views in the first. Oh shit, man. That's not bad. Y'all are cute, all right. Y'all are cute. I see you guys. I see you. That's awesome, man. That's cool. All right. Thanks, Instagram. I appreciate you actually letting people see the thing that I do once in a while. That's kind of nice. Thanks for that. Okay, I gotta get this bacteria off my tabs that Aduria sent me. Dunk on Silver Veil viewers. This is not good. I don't want to. I don't want to stare at bacteria the entire time. Also, the Daniel vibe, Daniel Jackson, the Daniel Jackson vibe. Ooh. You mean like late season Dr. Daniel Jackson when he had his short hair? Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that's my example of a good scholar. We're gonna restart. Wait, restart what? What did I restart? Shit. What did I mess up? Make this book some sort of an important manual of Eldari history or something like that. Or Aldarian. You know what we'll do? We'll make it a manual of Aldarian history. So I need to. I paused it. No, I didn't actually. I didn't. Thankfully. Thank you for reminding me though, Nix. If I did pause it, I would have been very butthurt. I decided against it to go check. The nice thing about when I speed up a recording, like I'll show you the TikTok, the final TikTok. When I speed it up, anytime I take like a 5-minute like talking break while I'm doing it, it doesn't really show when it speeds up this fast, right? You know, like it's not bad, hey? I'm sure this represents me taking like 5-minute breaks to talk about dumb shit nobody cares about for like stuff here and there. So yeah, I don't know. I think it works out. Very happy about that. I'm very, very happy to see that. It's so discouraging for so long that I could be doing a ton of stuff and just, you know, never getting any growth out of it anywhere. And it's so nice to be on a platform where I'm actually seeing something, like, seeing some interest. Some growth-minded interest, I mean. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. But yeah, I need to create, what I need to do is I need to create an Eldarian language. So I need to write this, whatever the text is here in Eldarian, and I need to figure out the Eldarian language, because the Eldarian language is just going to be a replacement. It's going to be like Aurebesh, where it's going to be, you know, like some kind of replacement glyphs or some shit like that. So I got to figure that out. And then I can write something in Eldarian. What I might do is I might make it a special font as well. Oops. That'd be kind of fun. All right, Mr. Ponytail Scholar Man. Ponytail, yay or nay? Like, I thought the ponytail was an important part of him. But maybe it's not. Maybe he needs to not have it. I don't know, dog. I think it's necessary. I think it's absolutely necessary. I'd be biased because I had the vision in my head for the longest time that he had a ponytail. I also renamed him because I realized no one would, that his name written does not look good. His name spoken was fine as a character, but his name written was not great. So I renamed him to Zephyrin, because I think it's written and spoken really, really well. All right. I think we're good. It adds some asymmetry to the top. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Glasses were necessary, because I initially wasn't sure if I was going to give him glasses or not. I felt like he needed them. Okay. New layer. Line work. I'm actually excited. This is like one of the important pieces from the, or for the adventure. So it's like, man, we're like on the road now, making adventure stuff. The adventure's like a real thing that's gonna happen. People might even play it. Dude, what if people play the adventure? What if they go to their GM, they're like, hey, I want to play this adventure in the Realms of Eldara. The GM's like, what's the Realms of Eldara? Well, it's this fantastic world made by a mediocre artist on twitch.tuvalu. Twitch is still around? What? Yep, it's still around. I thought everyone switched to Kick. No. Some people are holding out. They still stream on Twitch. No way. This nobody artist streams on Twitch. Yep. And he makes an adventure. Yep. What's wrong? You can't get a real job in the industry? Wow. Seems like a great thing to do then. I hope somebody plays it. I hope, like, it'll be really cool if somebody who doesn't follow me on Twitch, doesn't know shit about like our project over the last couple of years, plays this adventure. That'll be like a real point. A monocle will be more fantastic. A monocle will be good actually. We might still do that. I don't know. Monocle would be kind of aces. Make them really asymmetrical. I don't know. Did glasses and general spectacles take away a bit of the fantasy for you? I get it. I'm sympathetic to that argument. I don't know if it really does for me, but I am sympathetic to the argument, I guess, is one of those things. I get it if somebody doesn't want to include that in their game or their world or their design or whatever. I understand, more or less. Okay. I did make another layer, though, so I can start deleting my sketch underneath it as we're going, and I might do that. I'm going to try to be a little bit lighter on the hatching today, so that we don't have to spend the entirety of the stream hatching stuff. I know all of y'all's like to spend your entire day hatching. Me, on the other hand, I am attempting to become hatch free. So, Glass feels so modern, like boyfriend. Yeah, yeah. I dig. Like, I understand it. I don't know if it bothers me enough, but it does. It's one of those modern things that takes you out of it a little bit. 100%. People don't like it though, you know, because like they're like, well, I have glasses, so I want my character to be able to have glasses. They don't want to know how it would be in like the Middle Ages, right? It's like, do you want the true immersive fantasy experience or medieval experience or not? Or do you want the like idealized version? Because there was this drama a couple years ago about like something called like the combat wheelchair or whatever in fantasy, because like somebody who was, you know, disabled wanted to be able to present themselves in their fantasy world. It's like, okay, sick. But I remember I had this friend who she was wheelchair bound, and she was like, bitch, you think I want to be in a wheelchair in my fucking fantasy game? You know what would happen in the Middle Ages is if I was born with my legs like I was in the modern day? You know what they would do? Like, damn, bro. She's like, I want this to be historically accurate. If you need glasses in the 6th century, you know what you did? You didn't fucking see. It's like, god damn. So I don't know. I guess it's what however immersive versus reflective an experience you want. It's kind of a pull in. You know, I don't think either is a wrong answer. I guess it's a choice as to how much you want to be into it, or how much you want it to feel like a different experience, you know? The version of glass has been around since the Romans, and modern version came up in the 1200s. Yeah, I wonder what like they were like different. They were much smaller, right? Old school spectacles or whatever. 1286, but they were like little nose lenses. Yeah. They just kind of sat on there. Anything that image I put in stream talks for the 19th century would be fine. Let's see. Maybe we can adjust his glasses. I don't know. It'd be kind of fun to do that. What do we got? Stream topics. Oh, yeah. Okay, something small like that. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Maybe we should do something like that. Ancient BC glass lens. Maybe we'll change his glasses to be smaller and feel more like resting on the nose. Be more medieval. I should get glasses like that. Or like you said, a monocle would fix that too, I think. But I feel like the monocle is too much baggage, you know? The associations with monocles are too strong. People made up their mind about them. The Monopoly man ruined it for all of us. But Evan, it's a Mandela effect. He never had a monocle. Yes, he did. And you know it. You know it's true. You know exactly what I speak, you weirdo. Ooh, we'll put a pattern on it as well, I think. That'd be kind of fun to decorate a pattern into it. Maybe. Dude, I can't believe I forgot that I have to build an entire dungeon this week. Oh, fuck. I was expecting my players to stay in town. So I'm worried that my players... How would you guys handle this? I'm worried my players forgot about something. So basically, they went to this town, right? And in this town, there was like an event. They've sort of like... They've spawned an event for the party. They met up with some merchants and they were like, hey, you know, you have cool stuff. And then the merchants are like, yeah, we got cool stuff. We're gonna be at this like rich people market at the palace the day after tomorrow, right? And the party was like, okay, cool. And they're like, yeah, maybe we can go to the palace and figure out what's going on there, you know, and see if we can you know, get inside the doors, or like, you know, they want to do this whole thing at the palace, and the merchants gave them sort of an invitation, an in. And it's like, great, cool. So the day they land, the day after tomorrow, they're gonna have this thing at the palace. That's where we're at. The party then decide, they're like, yeah, we're gonna go do that, but first we're gonna go off the island and go do the thing that we came to the island for, this little like quest thingy. And I was sort of assuming that them talking about they wanted to go to the palace to do the palace thingy, that they'd be going to the palace. They have a day in town to do whatever they want. And they go to the palace for the thing, and then they go on their little adventure after the fact. And that's kind of what I was planning, because they had said as much, more or less. And then the next game rolls around. They're like, okay, guys, it's the morning after we got here. Let's go to the adventure thing. Let's go to fly over the other island. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, do I remind them that they were going to stay in town for this event? And they're off on the adventure, and they're talking about it like they're like, oh yeah, man, we're so excited. We're going to go on this adventure. And then when we come back, we're going to do the thing at the palace. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, as they're flying towards the island, there's no way you're going to be back in time. This is going to take you at least a couple days out in the wilderness. You're going to miss the event in the palace because you wanted to go do that thing first. It's like, do I just conveniently reschedule the thing for them so they don't like lose out on it? Or do I say to them when they get back, they're like, okay, let's go to the palace, and like the market was yesterday. Like, I don't know what to do. So I was not expecting to have to build a dungeon this week. I was expecting to have this whole like RP encounter thing where they're trying to gather information from nobility and buy stuff and whatever, and play this whole like subplot game. I was not anticipating making a dungeon for this week. And so when they said they wanted to go out, I was like, I didn't have it ready. So they got to the dungeon more or less last week, and we ended right before they entered. And it's gonna be this. It's gonna be a kind of a combat gauntlet. Like, they're not gonna get a lot of rest, and then they're gonna get one long rest or whatever in between this and the end of the dungeon. It's gonna be a much larger event than I'm worried that maybe they think. I don't know. It's like, why wouldn't you give yourself time to go out into the wilderness? They brought like multiple days of rations. They brought like multiple days of water and all this kind of stuff. But they have all this impression that they're going to be back the next day. Like, I don't know what to do, man. Like, Fruit of the Loom never had a cornucopia. It did. They just create a new company. Exactly. Yes. Consequences are fine. Just kill them? So you'd be okay. Like you think that I should just say, yeah, man, sorry. You like the thing was yesterday. What are you guys doing? Like, you didn't, like, because the thing is, I know the reason why they don't know is because nobody took notes. You know, and it's like, so as a GM, how petty do you be over your players taking notes? Do you just enforce the world around it as like, oh, this thing's happening this day and this person's doing this thing and whatever. And if you take notes for it, great. And if you don't take notes for it, then you just kind of shrug at your players and you're like, I don't know, take notes or whatever. But, or do you just give them a pass because, like, it's not like they're trying to be, like, disrespectful of your game or not pay attention. They just don't like taking notes. Or whatever. So it's like it feels weird to, like, punish your players because they didn't take notes. And it feels like a bit of a punishment. Like I could easily retcon the event to be 3 days from now instead of, you know, the next day, and allow them to come back to the city. It's not like I have this timeline that needs to be enforced or something in the world. So it's like, part of me feels like I should just let him have both things, like the best of both worlds. But it doesn't seem like worthwhile to like try and, like I said, punish them or whatever for not taking notes and remembering the dates and whatever and thinking ahead. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I take notes unless it's a detail I really want to remember. What would be more fun? Well, exactly. It's like, what would be more fun? But also the argument, Nyx, is that what would be more fun in the long run? And it's like a world that just sort of conveniently shifts around to be whatever like works out for the players is not really believable, and it starts to feel contrived after a while. And it's like the interest and fun kind of wears off. And so it's like you wanted your players to develop a sense of time and whatever and planning in the world, but also you don't want to like punish them for doing it wrong. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Because you just kind of like remove the entirety of that event from the play. But it is in service of like a more authentic experience. Personal ethos is things happen regardless. Sometimes the lack of information is what makes things interesting. Going around after the event is going to be a lot more obvious. Yeah, maybe that'll be it. Maybe the event just changes. It's like, yeah, you know, you're going there to talk to the vendors. They're all packing up and whatnot to go off to the next city. And then it just changes the nature of the event. And it's not like you strip them of an event. You just change sort of what kind of experience they have. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Why is the sense of fun getting removed if you're flexible with time? Why does the sense of fun get removed if you're flexible with time? Because the thing is that if you... To me, it's the sort of the same idea of okay, how do I explain this? I'm going to start in an abstract and hopefully narrow in on more on why I think that it's important to have like a maintained set of rules. So it's the Minecraft creative mode dilemma that I've realized is more pervasive in D&D than people think. In Minecraft, you build your base, right? And you have to go mine your materials, and you have to go you know, you have to go chop your wood, and you have to go grow your whatever vines you want for your walls. And let's say you need to build a cool wall around your base, and you want to build this cool cobblestone thing, but you have to mine all this cobblestone, and then you have to like smelt it so it's like smooth, and then you got to turn it into bricks. And so you're like, man, I don't want to spend 3 hours doing that. So you go on creative mode, you give yourself, you know, 20 stacks of the stone brick that you need to build your base, and then you go back on adventure mode and you build your base. Well, the thing is, the second you cheated in one of your materials, the sense of progression and meaning gets lost. I think it gets completely removed because you now aren't playing the game, and you're not looking at your base thinking, wow, it took me all this time and all this effort and I did it and it's whatever. You're thinking like, oh wow, I did this on this arbitrarily more difficult mode of survival mode, you know, for the feeling of accomplishment, but I creative moded in the hard things, so it doesn't really, you know, doesn't really do much for me. And that's something I realized with Minecraft a long time ago when we were playing back when we were kids, you know. But I realized that lesson has shown up in interesting ways in D&D. And I think that when you like cheaty pants away survival or travel or whatever, like there's like you have to be able to, I think, earn the sense of beating like no longer dealing with an objective. It's like an ARPG. When you get so strong in an ARPG that you're just like auto playing, basically you're just pulsing out massive damage, you just walk around, you're just auto killing everything, and you don't have to play as hard as you did when you were leveling up. That's really fun. But if you start with that on, then it's not fun. And that's how ARPG fans view it, at least. And so I think the same thing is true in D&D, is you need to have sort of a sense of rigidity, of believable rules. It's like the Cypher quote in The Matrix about how, you know, or not Cypher, the other guy, basically they made it too easy for people and they didn't believe it. You need a certain level of struggle. You need a sense of struggle to make it worthwhile. You need a sense of danger to make it worthwhile. If you are playing a game of D&D where there is no sense of like impending death as a potential, you're not playing a game, you're writing a story. And that's fine if you want to do that. You want to tell a collective story game, fine, go for it. Sit around your campfire and use the framework of D&D to tell your cool story, bro. But if you want to play it as a game, then there's certain things you need in the game as far as a set of rules, or else your mind doesn't like your mind doesn't process with a value. The greedy part of your brain, the part that wants it now and pleasure and you know, fat and acid and sugar when you're eating, and it wants the easy thing and it wants all these things, it's telling you it wants this type of game. But what I found is that those games lose meaning very, very quickly. And so it's like, once I allow my players to sort of not like if you enforce, you're like, oh, you guys didn't plan this out right, and then, you know, how is that fun later? Let's be more specific. Oh, you didn't plan it out. You got to the town, you didn't know what you're doing and whatever, and you went to do this adventure in this dungeon. Well, now you can't, you know, go to another event because it happened at the same time. Later on, when the players get to the next town, there is a sense of achievement one gets by being like, okay, we want to be here in time for the coronation. We want to go to the forest and kill the bandits, and we want to go say hi to the wizard. The wizard's going to take one day. Let's go there and come back. We want to make sure we have a day in town to do whatever so that we're here for the coronation. Then we'll go kill the bandits after. It's like, there is a sense of like believability in that struggle. And once you remove that for your players and you just allow them to sort of just like wish away whatever inconveniences they want.
I'll show you rigidity, hate chicka bum bum.
Okay, thank you for the 100 bits, DC. I appreciate that. Thanks for the insights on game design. Yeah, that's fucking great, man. Thanks for that. Some mods like Mind Colonies require you to keep doing that if you do it once. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. I don't use a lot of those kind of mods. I usually it's pretty light mods, so I actually don't know about how a lot of them work. That's interesting. What's up, Samurai? Thanks for the 33 months, dude. What's up? How's it going? Good to see you, bro. What's up? I agree. Was curious of your reasoning. I prefer as it's strict as a player. The hardship is required for a sense of accomplishment. And like, but I know that, Guapo, that this isn't a popular opinion. You know, that there's a lot of people who don't want there to be any sense of like, they don't want to ever think their character is gonna die in their D&D game. So the problem is, what happens when you fight a dragon? Like, the thrill of the dragon is that this is some deadly creature that I might die, and I'm gonna beat it by the skin of my teeth and like get through. And once you know that you're just gonna like narrative sword and plot armor your way through the dragon, it's not fun. You know? I don't think, anyway. I think that a lot of people also realize it's not fun. I think more people than not realize it's not fun later in their gaming career, and more people I've seen come around to that opinion than keep it for a long period of time. And so there's things like enforcing travel and carrying weight, and lots of things that I do that people think is arbitrary, not fun, but I like to gamify those systems and let you overcome carrying capacity and travel weight and whatever and rations and all that in an interesting way that you feel like you've beaten some system of the game. Because what the fuck is a game if not you overcoming arbitrary challenges? So why is this arbitrary challenge of carrying capacity not fun, but the arbitrary challenge of rolling a die to see if you hit is fun? Because it's compelling in one and not compelling in the other. So the idea of like, well, discard carrying capacity entirely, I think is such a brutal mistake that GMs and people make, that they're robbing themselves of an entire part of the game because the system itself is not good. So if you alter the system and make it more interesting, in my opinion, you get a great piece of game that you don't. It's kind of like gearing up in an MMO. It's like, why is that everyone's favorite thing? And if you just want to remove the gearing process, everyone's gonna be like, well, I guess we'll go in there and like kill the boss. But like, it doesn't matter. I don't get my cool new purple with a bigger item level on it. And so for me, carrying capacity is that thing. And I honestly have the numbers to back it up. I've never had a player or a group that has been skeptical of and hasn't enjoyed the way I do carrying capacity and weight and item management and travel after I have them with my custom systems involved. You know, so I'm the best DM I've ever, apparently. No, I think it's just like the D&D version is incredibly flawed and not good as it is on the base, so people don't give it a chance otherwise. So when it comes to the timing, it's like, do I just let my players just piss away the idea of them having to plan even a little bit their outing? I don't know, because it does seem like one of those things, like does it really compromise the fun of things if I say to them, oh yeah, the event, you're right, the event was in 3 days and you were, you know, this thing that you were wrong about, you're actually right about it. You know, it's one of those weird things that I don't know if it's like worth it. because I never want to like sacrifice fun in the name of immersion. Otherwise, it's like the first thing, like, because people think they're like, oh, I want the most immersive experience ever. It's like, okay, you want the most classical medieval experience? Great. So all the women in your party, get them out of there. Women don't adventure. By the way, when you go into the city, you don't smell roses and fresh baked bread. You smell human feces and rotting flesh. That lord that you meet, you want to shake his hand, but he's got syphilis, so you don't. Like, we don't want a truly historical experience. We want our own brand of like kind of inflated sort of idealistic version. That's fine. So it's like, where can we be immersive and realistic and sort of like not budging on it? And where can we say, absolutely, this is a fantasy story, you know? Because people do it wrong all the time. People do it wrong all the time. And they'll say like, they'll have something that's super jarring and weird, like using modern terminology in a game. They're like, oh, what? So, you know, you can have a story where you have dragons flying, like flying lizards that breathe fire, but the fact that I referred to this person as my homie, it takes you out of the immersion, you weirdo. It's like, yes, it does. Like that's a terrible example. So I don't know. It's like, I don't know how pedantic to be about the rules sometimes, and this feels like one of those ones that I'm not exactly sure on. Thoughts on the kind of issue.
The starting and the ending of a story is important, and death is an ending. It adds to the character. Do not fear death, make death your bitch.
Oh yeah.
Same as failure, make it your bitch, fail and grow, enjoy it.
I love that, man. Like totally, dude. I agree. Thanks 100 bits, by the way. I agree. I think the character death is one of the most interesting things that happens to you in your game. Like you are so lucky if your character takes a cool death. But then as a DM, make him take a cool death. If characters like take a death, like make it fucking rad. You know? My thoughts on the kind of issue in D&D is that you need to have a way to stick a knife into a problem from an alternative angle or two, despite what has gone on. Either by investigating scene after or finding information, but that way, or by them finding smugglers who have seen or participated in the event. Yeah, that's a great point. Like, honestly, I think that's the way to handle it in this case. Have the event be over, but have it be a different kind of event that they would have gotten, that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So it's like, yeah, the event is over. You guys like missed the time or whatever. You didn't quite think it through. Like, so sad you don't get to buy expensive fancy spice. But maybe something interesting happened at the event. Maybe there was some sort of attack or event that nobody wants to talk about, and you have to investigate it afterwards. You're like, why do all the vendors seem terrified when I ask them how the event was or how the market went? They all just like look like they've seen a ghost and tell me to leave and leave them alone. They need to get out of this town as fast as possible. And then I give them the party some cool thing to investigate on. You know, will my players be disappointed that they don't get to go shopping for fancy items to spend their gold on? Maybe. But if I give them something else that's cool to sort of latch onto, then yeah, you're right. It's not a loss then. Success as it costs would be best. If lines are long, you can hit every ride amusement park. Yeah, true. Actually, though, they did vendors as they're leaving, and maybe I can give me a couple of vendors to talk to or whatever. Other character death, I die and make it hurt. Yeah, true. You would. When I have new D&D players who haven't experienced a death, I usually pull aside one veteran player and say, hey, create a meat grinder character you won't mind losing after 3 to 5 sessions. Yeah, I think that's actually like it's so good to have veteran players, you know, that can do that. Like for me that like that veteran player is Ella. Like Ella is she is my tool to go to show players how to play D&D. And she loves it. She's great at that. She's such a versatile player that can play any style of D&D. And she can create the cool narrative characters. She's also not afraid of like character death and stuff like that. So I've told her sometimes before, like, you know, I once said to her, like, hey, I made a mistake and I let the players get super attached to their first characters, which I always tell my players never to. I say never. I make it kind of like a funny, like Dark Souls-y type thing. Like, you never want to get attached to your first character. All right. And they're like, okay, yeah, haha. And then eventually the character dies and they're like, haha, yeah, you're right. Wow, that was a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm going to make a new character. Yo, I'm so excited to play a sorcerer now. Cause like people very rarely actually want to keep their first character, you know, for a long period of time. You very rarely figure out the very first character you ever want to make is the character you want to spend the next 3 years playing. So I usually give my players a small campaign or whatever, but I fucked up once and I never emphasized that. And we just it was supposed to be a little trial campaign. I was playing with some new players and they wanted to keep going. And I agreed to it. And I realized that the players had gotten too attached and also too safe. And I was like, I'm going to impose the game upon you guys and like ramp up the difficulty. The problem is these players have never been bitten because they were newbies and I didn't want to bite them like early on. So I was like, so Ella, are you okay if you like I'm gonna bite you at some point in time? Like, is that cool? And she's like, oh yeah, let me earn it. And so she was super willing to get her character that she wanted to keep for a while killed off. I wasn't expecting to kill her character off. So I was expecting to give her like the impending doom of death and then not kill her character off. But it was there was some bad rolls and whatever, some lucky crits, and then her character died. And the other players were like, wait, that can happen? And it changed the way they played D&D entirely. It was so much fun, more fun after that, because they were playing the game at that point. So yeah, I think that's a great thing. To like having a veteran player that's willing to be a tool for teaching or demonstration is super, super valuable, super worth it. You know, it's a great boon to your group if you have one of those kind of players. How late are they again? I mean, many festivals last more than a day. Yeah, they're gonna be. I mean, it's not a festival. It was like the problem is like I agree, Guapo. I just make it a longer event, right? The problem is I did say it was going to be like the way I posed it is that these group of vendors were coming for this 1-day event where the prince like of the whatever holds this market, this event for rich people to buy, to like bring him goods to show off or whatever, like that he can buy extravagantly, and then the other nobility want to be seen spending money that day, so they all buy stuff. So merchants were like racing to get here and to get to this event because they know they're going to make a killing, but then they were like, yeah, then as soon as the event's gone, we're being packed up and gone because we got to be going to this next thing. So I had already branded it as this like single day thing where it's like this big event of the prince wanting to show off how fabulously wealthy he is by spending an extravagant amount of money on this one day where people come to his palace court and like set up this market. So I kind of I don't know. That's a great idea. I think I shot myself in the foot on that one because yeah, I just make it a couple days. Like who cares, right? Still could say, oh, the prince was ill the first night and thus like I don't know. I don't know. I care that should have died, but my husband kind of fudged the baddie's actions a little. He didn't fall through on the kill. The character felt so cheap after that. Like I asked to switch characters. No, I like yeah, exactly, Nix. The thing is, a lot of like I'm not saying that you had this problem before, but this is an example that other players can have that they can relate to. Is that a lot of players think they don't want to be killed off, but as soon as the sense of like you're playing a game and succeeding at it breaks, the meaning entirely disappears, and it feels cheap. You're like, oh yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna get like, no, this isn't dangerous, so I guess sure, let's just go kill the bad guy and get the money. Why not? Okay, we're going again. And it is, to me, it's the best example that I can think of is the creative mode Minecraft thing. Yeah, once you creative mode in one brick on Minecraft, the rest of the build feels cheap. Because I had a friend that did that all the time. He wanted to, like, we had this server when we were in high school where we all played Minecraft on, and he wanted to always have the coolest, biggest castle. And, like, I knew he was cheating because he didn't realize that the log where you, like, spawn things in, the commands could be seen by, like, it was a permanent thing. It's not like it just disappeared. So I saw him, like, cheaty pantsing in all these materials and stuff and going on creative mode. And then, like, one day I said to him, I was like, wow, man, this is crazy. He's like, yeah, look at my castle, man. I'm like, wow, this is so good. Like you built all this on your own? He's like, yeah, dude. And I wasn't going to call him out on it, but he was like, yeah, man, it was a lot of work. I had to go in and I had to mine all the ore and I had to do all this. And it was so exhausting. And at that point I was just like, okay, all right. So the next time we had a server, I just disabled it entirely, so you couldn't enter creative mode if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. And he built himself a far less interesting base, but I don't know. It's like one of those things. It's kind of like I always had this view on D&D cheating that wasn't very popular. So I had a friend who growing up who fudged their rules in D&D. I had a friend that did that. My view on cheating in D&D, because I don't like force people to roll on cam or whatever, do any of that. If you say you got 320s in a row, like, I'll believe you, bro. My stance on it growing up was always that, and it might be a little self-righteous, like you accuse me of that fairly, if you will. I always thought to myself that if you were going to cheat at D&D and fudge your rolls, you were going to ruin the experience for yourself in the long term. But if something was going on in your life that made you so desperate to feel like you were winning that you needed to cheat at D&D, you know what? Fine, go for it. Like, I'll understand how later how to maybe like make it like less easy or less obvious or less whatever for this thing to happen. But like, if you want to get your big crit, like, all right, man, you want to have your moment, like, go for it, bro. And I kind of have a bit of it. Like, I just don't play with people that are kind of in that mindset of like needing to win at D&D, quote unquote. But I do think when it comes to like your D&D game, if you're trying to like let your players have a meaningful experience, letting them sort of like not have the sense of death, the sense of gameplay, or the sense of whatever that you create by having a dangerous world and challenges and whatever, then it does make it feel cheap. And I think that Nyx's point about how she couldn't like play her character anymore because it just felt cheap, I think that's entirely valid and actually a pretty common experience for some players. Nyx is just like very insightful to like recognize it and say like, oh wait, this doesn't feel right after this. You know, but there's a lot of people who don't realize that until later. They've been playing a character that can't die, and then they play their character that can't die for another like 3 years, and they're like, wait, my character I don't give a shit about because I know there's no danger. And they go play another game with a throwaway character, and suddenly they feel alive again. They're like, oh my god, this D&D game was so great. I don't know why. It's like because this D&D game has stakes. The other one you're playing doesn't anymore. And they're like, oh fuck. Like, aha. If I know I'm setting up a player like that, I'll usually have them co-author a little bit of their demise. So you want it to be, you open the door and just end up as a pasta due to a trap, something dramatic, something brutal. Yeah, oh yeah, totally. I intentionally killed off one of my players' first characters in their first session because they did something dumb and it bit them in the ass. Like, that's fine. I mean, I don't know. I think it's always very good to explain to your players that, like, I think that this is one of the things that the Critical Role culture has kind of done D&D players dirty. And this isn't Critical Role's fault. I'm not blaming Critical Role even the slightest. This is not their fault that they're popular. Okay? But, like, how did you used to get into D&D? You used to get into D&D because you played Diablo, or you read Lord of the Rings, or you played war games, or whatever. You were used to getting into D&D from a gamer's perspective. So when you find out the game is a game, and you play the game, and you're like, oh my god, this is a game, surprise Pikachu face, it all works out, you know? The problem is that when you see a lot of players getting into D&D via, like, watching a bunch of people play a narrative campaign, then you think that, like, oh, I want to also create my 20-page backstory dramatic character and never have a little hair on their head plucked. And so you don't go into the game with a sense of it being a game. You go into this with the sense of it being this, like, story that you're going to tell, and you're going to have that moment where you reveal you were actually a halfling and everyone at the table is going to cry because you're such a great storyteller. Oh my god, I'm so excited for that. You know? And that's fine, but the problem is then that a lot of those kind of players, I find, are the most resistant to sort of the they don't get that there is a whole D&D game out there that's so rewarding and fun. They just want the narrative experience. And they think that D&D is the best way to do that because they don't like writing novels or some shit. And that's fine. I'm not shit-talking them. But I am saying that it does cause a lot of confusion and a lot of stress then, I think, later on when players sort of are realizing, like, oh, wait, this whole thing was kind of meaningless because we didn't overcome anything. Ah, fuck. And then they really... It's like that old like Stoic quote, you have 2 lives, you know? Your second life begins when you realize you only have 1 life. I think that's really true in D&D. You have 2 games. You start really playing D&D when you like realize your character only has 1 life, you know, or whatever. Your story starts really mattering. Like, you write 2 stories as a GM or as a player character. Your first story ends when you realize that, I don't know, your players, that you're not in control of your story or something like that, and you have to go with the flow. The liberating moment of realizing that you don't need to plan out every little moment that happens, you know, 3 years ahead of time, every little, you know, thing that happens to your character ever, because whatever is going to happen is going to happen, and that story of what's going to happen is going to be far more fulfilling and interesting than the story that you wrote out 3 years ago. Right? Like, that kind of ties into my philosophy that I always say to players when they're first playing D&D, and sometimes experienced players, but I try not to be preachy to experienced players. But I think the best thing about D&D is the D&D game is the story of how your character becomes cool, not the story of your cool character doing cool things. So don't tell me your character has been an adventure for all this time and they saved the world already once and they've been to the greatest academy in all the land and they've, you know, married the vampire queen and then already had, you know, an affair with the dragon princess of Ardoria, and they went down to the goblin's lair and slew the dragon, and they drank the dragon's blood and the vampiric blood from the ritual of sacrament. They went in part of the vampire queen, allowed them to become a new, more powerful version of themselves where they have half dragon, half vampire blood, and now they have cool eyes and one horn on their head. The other horn's broken. They have one wing that's made of dark black feathers, and the other wing is made of dragon scale. And you're like, dude, you don't need to play D&D. You've already wrote your character story. Like, you know exactly why your character. What do you need the game for, bro? Like, what the fuck? Go write yourself a book, man. You don't want to play D&D. You want to go write your fucking book. I want to hear that story. Shit, dude, I'll read it. Go write that book, and then come back when you're done and make a D&D character for us to play with, you know? Begone bot? Yeah, Begone bot. There we go. We saved ourselves, Thorkin. They were walking the city library and see a copy of Oriental Adventures. Yeah, that was a great book. I missed the part of this conversation, but D&D is a hero game with PCs that are more powerful and have lots of outs from death compared to something like DCC where you're a skilled commoner, nothing will save you. It's part luck, part skill. Yeah, I think the D&D is somewhere in between. I think the good D&D needs to have heroic dangers too. You know? Heroic outs from heroic deaths, but also heroic dangers or whatever. I think that's a good one. It's a good point, though, you know? So I don't know. The whole point is, like, do I give my players this out and let them sort of have things their way without really trying for it? Or do I enforce this sort of idea of, like, they should have been here and they should have planned this out better? I don't know. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I really don't. I'm sure, like, man. Part of it also is, like, this, like, kind of pettiness where you're like, I wish you guys would take fucking better notes, you know? But then, is there ways to sort of tell your players that without making them lose out on something, you know? That's one of those type of things. I think that the D&D can't be adversarial, and if you feel like you need to punish your players or whatever for doing or not doing something, you're kind of losing the sauce, you know? You're kind of missing the point. Right? Like I always said about D&D, like DM's relationships, where a lot of people are like, oh, I gotta win against my DM. Like, the second I detect someone's trying to be adversarial against me, I immediately end my game with them. The second someone's trying to, like, beat me, and not in, like, a funny sort of tongue-in-cheek, like, oh, DM versus player, like let's fucking go, throw me your best. And it's like, I'm not gonna let some nerd beat me. I'm so powerful at D&D. I'm so good. I'm not gonna lose to this DM. That's when I, like, immediately be like, nope, we're done. I don't want to deal with you. Like, if the player thinks that you're doing stuff in bad faith, I guess, is the big point. If player thinks, like, the only reason you've done this is because you are trying to beat me, and you're like, what the fuck? No, I'm trying to make sure you have a good game. What are you talking about? Beat you? Like, I'm not trying to win against you, Daniel. I know your parents aren't proud of you, and the only way you have to accomplish anything in life is through this imagination dragon game, but, like, Jesus, dude, I'm not trying to get you. That's when I'll, like, sort of check out of a D&D game and be like, okay, we're done here. We're not doing this anymore. Which I think is fair. I think a lot of people agree with that. I don't think that's a particularly hot take. But it's one of those things that like Reddit D&D problems you always hear about. You know? Oh, whoops. Should have done that in one large swoop, but that's fine. It's okay. I'm not worried about it. All right, pump our alarm back up. I kill our sketch underneath. I always like doing this multiple layer stuff is like really good, but it gets me a little like the process sometimes gets spins my head a little bit. I have to like remember what I'm doing before I like merge my layers back and make sure everything's like erased out and deleted and properly set up in a way that works. We are cheaty pantsing a lot of this together when I use brushes like that or copy shapes or whatever, but that's fine. Make them suffer a little bit, repurpose the situation, give them not the entire picture of information. They lose their ability to buy high-end items, but they can find something remnants of useful items. Yeah, I think that's a good way of doing it. That's really I think the best way to handle it. All the circle drawings like ASMR for the eyes. Is it? Oh shit, okay. That's good. It is very satisfying for me too, so I'm glad it's, I don't know, nice to watch. That game's every time you go down and come back up to make a save after combat. It's like a flat roll death save, but if you fail, you gain madness for your near brush with death. If you fail 5 times, it upgrades to long-term madness. After 3 long-term madness, your character gets permanent madness. That's interesting. That kind of reminds me of like Dark Side Score from, or Dark Side Corruption from Star Wars Saga Edition. Obviously not the same, but yeah, that's interesting. I kind of like that. I like the way that kind of fits together or feels, you know? Also give my players 1 free res each. After that, you have to make a save when someone goes to res you. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I always feel like, for me, you know why I like having like death be a possibility in my D&D games? Because I think that the person who might have had the most fun in Fellowship of the Ring might be Boromir's player. I think Boromir's player probably had the most fun. You know? And so I wouldn't want to deprive my players of the opportunity to take that cool death. But I'll also typically like cheese it out a little bit so that if you do take a death, I'll like... The problem is you have to have players that are on board with it. Where what I call it, like, I'm not the type of person that likes to desperately try and coin terms, but I have kind of like created a term for it. My players, my long-term players understand. I call it reaching them. You're gonna get reached. If your character is going to die right now, you get to reach your character first. It's like, what do you mean? What reach? Like, oh, geez, I didn't think it was that kind of game. But reaching your character is a reference to Halo Reach, for those of you who played. Halo Reach had one of the most fantastic final acts of a video game ever. I think it was one of the best like ends to a game that's ever been written as a video game story. You know? Halo Reach wasn't like one of those like big games like, I don't know, that people think is big story games. Like it's not like people are like, oh man, I don't play games for the story, but I do play Last of Us and Hellblade. You know, like the hipsters adjust their glasses while playing their board games with their friends, talking about how great the story was in Last of Us or some shit. I think that Halo Reach's finale clears all of those games by a fucking mile. If you don't know what happens, basically in Halo Reach, the spoiler for the game that's like 15 years old now, is you have to like deliver a message more or less to the rest of humanity that like the aliens are here. It's a prequel to the Halo games. And so you, as your like earlier Spartan team, you guys have to like go to the edge of the planet and deliver this like message, send this ship off, do whatever, and that's your goal. But the story is it's a story where we all know that nobody survived on Reach, right? So throughout the last mission, your companions all take these amazing heroic deaths. And you get to know your companion, you get to know your characters, and you fall in love with them. And then one by one, at the end of the game, they all start dying. They all start dying heroic deaths. And you're like, oh my god, this person died. Oh yeah, there's bound to be a death in the game. Like, okay, that's crazy. And then another like character dies. And you're like, oh my god. And then by like the third character, you're like, wait, we're not getting off of this. Wait, we're not doing this. And so at the very end, the ship is like taking off, and they're like, we need somebody to man the gun so they can blow up the thing to like let the ship like fly away so we can get the message to the rest of like humanity. And your character is like, I got it. And so everybody on the ship is like, oh my god, no, you can't do that. They're gonna die. They're gonna sacrifice. But like the admiral, the grizzled old like veteran like dude, he's like, he like understands that like a sacrifice needs to be made, and like you, the Spartan, are like choosing to make that sacrifice. He basically just like salutes you and is just like, Godspeed, hero. And so you go do the thing, and you fire the gun, you blow up the ships, and then the ship escapes, and then you watch the ship escape off, and basically humanity has a chance to survive now. And then that's not the end of the game. The end of the game, the last level, is you watch, so you as a player, you think that the game is over. You think like, wow, we beat the game, man. The thing's going off, and like my character, who knows what's going to happen to them. And then it comes back into the UI of the game. And you're playing, and you're like, wait, what? And it says the mission objective. It's just objectives, survive. And you're like, what? And I remember when Ella and I were playing this for the first time, because we were playing it on co-op, she was like, what's going on? And we're like fighting dudes, we're like killing them. And she's like, what are we supposed to do? Like, I don't get it. Where is the objective to survive? Where are we supposed to go? And like at one point I was just like, we're not getting off here. And she was like, what? I'm like, nah, dude, we just like this, the ship's gone. And like I remember watching it sink in with her, where she like looks down, she was like, oh. And it was so cool because like I had that realization like 30 seconds earlier, and then I got to like have it and then watch her have it. And then she's like, all right, let's fucking go, let's do this. And so you try and see how long you can survive, and you have this big heroic moment, you're killing dudes and whatever, and then it plays this like cinematic of your character death, where like you get like hit, like something like hits you over, and you like blast it in the gut, and then another guy comes over and tries to stab you, and you kick it off of them, and another guy comes, you shooting them with your pistol, and you get overwhelmed by these guys, and they just like sort of off screen stab you, like get you. And there's this whole like monologue about how like, you know, you are a Spartan of Reach, your body, your bones, your armor belongs to Reach, but you know, and you're a sacrifice. And it's so cool. And so if I'm going to kill a player off, I typically try and reach him. But the thing is, players usually have to know what's going on. So occasionally, like, it works with players that are kind of like on board with it. And you usually, when you're like, sorry, John, you failed that save, man. You're not making it out of here. And he's like, no. I'm like, you're not making it out of here. And he's like, oh shit. I'm like, nope. You got a last breath, man. You got a last moment here. You feel the life force exiting your body rapidly, but you think that you can summon the strength in your muscles to perform a couple of more moments of combat. What are you gonna do? And he's like, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna draw my other sword. It's like, oh shit, you can't even dual wield, bro, but you're in it. And he's like, and I'm just gonna start cleaving and tearing, skewer one guy both swords, throw him into another, grab a guy, cut his Achilles, put him on the ground, slice him across the neck, slash out, like, you have this sort of moment. Some players are like, oh, so I have a moment to survive, then I'm going to use my portal stone to try and portal out of here. You're like, okay, you portal out and you fucking die, idiot. So you gotta have players that are on board with it. But if I'm gonna like see a player in my campaign die, I will usually try and give them, if it's like in combat, like their reach moment. Except I did have a friend. Well, I do have a friend. I don't think I did. I have a friend, fucking Yavuz, who his character dies. His character dies, and I'm just like, he's like, after combat, the players save him. There's no like heroic moment, but I'm just like, hey man, you being like this future seeing, like clairvoyant, you've tried to see into the future your whole life. And I was like, do you like, I think a vision's coming to you in your last moments as you feel the last breath. And he's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, you think a vision is the clearest vision of the future you're ever going to see is going to come to you. He's like, holy shit. He's never got like a clear vision before. It's always like mixed and muddled. He's like, I'm going to see this finally for the first time. Because I was going to give him like this big player like spoiler thing where it's like, I was going to tell him that he sees a vision of the person they were trying to protect dying by the hands of like their guardian. So the players could know and save the whatever. And so his death comes with this last great vision. And I'm like, do you sort of reach out and accept the vision? You think you can really like, you know, tap into it? He's like, I could see this and I could impart wisdom to my friends and companions with my last breath and serve my purpose one last time. I'm like, yes. Do you want to serve your purpose in this world one last time for your friends as they're clasping his hands and pushing the hair out of his eyes and like concernedly looking at his passing moment? He's like, no, I'm gonna soil myself. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm gonna fart loudly, shit my pants, and die in front of them. I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean, soil yourself? He's like, yep, I'm gonna fart loudly, shit my pants, and die in front of them. And it's gonna smell disgusting. It's gonna be awful. All right, I had that dwarvish cheese that morning, man. I'm lactose intolerant. It's gonna be the worst moment for all. I was like, really? You could see into the future and know something important. Perhaps you will see the death of this person you're trying to protect. And he's like, nope, I don't want to see it. Nope.
Based.
Nope. I wanna shit my pants and die. With dignity. And you know what? He did. So look, sometimes, you know, players know what they want. You got to give them their death. You got to give them the ending to their story that they want that fits their character. Thanks for bits, DC. Got him. Yeah, actually though, their death the character I had was playing artificer. Wait, we only found an alchemy jug every day. Put acid vials in it. You're waking. You're gonna do. Wait, what? What did you do then? He's me, is it? He's my artificer ability to make magic bandolier. You swung 100 acid vials. Oh yeah. Like, look, I like that. You know, I like that moment where the player's on board with it, because no one remembers the moment that you saved the fucking thing or did the cool story. Everyone remembers when your player character took that brutal death in D&D that one time. You know, and I think that leaning into it and embracing that part of the game is the best, you know? Not that I'm sitting here saying that I'm like a junkie for my character's deaths or whatever. I'm trying to kill my players. All I'm saying is don't fear the Reaper, man. When you're playing your Imagination Dragon game, don't fear your Boromir moment. It's gonna be badass. It's gonna be more memorable than if your character survives and, you know, does mediocre stealth checks for the next 2 years of D&D. Continue your rogue and mediocrity, or else come back home stronger. I don't know. What do you think the like lack of tolerance for player death sort of happened? Do you think, like, because a lot of people blame Critical Role for it, and I kind of see it, but I don't know. I feel like it's maybe like a bigger sort of like intolerance for, like, you could make a giant like case for how like modern gamers can't like handle challenge, and it's not Critical Role's fault. It's just like I really don't know. I don't know what the reasoning is. I don't know what the cause of this sort of new meta of D&D. Because there's also the graybeards that play. They're like, oh, the only way to play D&D is if you show up with 5 unnamed dwarf barbarians. And you're like, okay, grandpa. Like, all right, I get it. Yep, you played D&D back when you called it Greyhawk Adventure Game. Like, I get it. Oh, you went to the convention and shook Gygax's hand and told him about your about your ranger and he pretended to be interested? Wow, you're so cool. You lose 4 characters before the first level of a dungeon? You must be such an intelligent and sophisticated game player. Man, your second wife leaving you was totally not your fault. Like you're so cool. You and your friends that have been playing in your garage with your fucking balding ponytails for the last 30 years. You guys are just the pinnacle elite of games. Like, we should just applaud you when you come into the game store. You know? Like, I get it. I'm not, like, going all the way over there. Like, it's fine. But I just wonder when it sort of happened, when the transition kind of happened.
They
you
all
know?
play Mothership now.
Is that what, that's what happened? Okay, got it. They just stopped playing Mothership. Yeah, maybe. Players got soft? You think so? Players got soft because people got soft. Games becoming a lot less deadly since the middle era of 4th edition. You think it was 4th? Middle of 4th? That's interesting. I'm not saying you're wrong. In my experience, it happened with 5th, that people were still pretty hardcore in 4th. But you know what? Where I'll say I might be wrong here, and you might have me completely right on that, or you might be completely right on that, is that I can tell you players were hard as fuck in 3rd edition and 3.5. Players were soft by 5th edition, so you're probably right. It probably did happen somewhere around 4th. But why though? Was it other games in general reducing the meta of challenge, or was it because, like, I don't know if any of you like I know a lot of people, whenever I bring up Asmongold, a lot of y'all are mad, but I did see him watching on stream last night. I'm not sure if it's a YouTube video, but he watched this interesting video that he was recording a video, was talking about players not being able to handle sort of tactical gameplay anymore because attention spans and whatnot, or it's a very interesting, like, article that he was reading and he made a video about. It's worthwhile information to look at. But basically the summary, or the TLDR of it, was that players don't play tactical games anymore because they're not smart enough. Which is an interesting sort of case study. But I think it's kind of funny. But I wonder if that happens in TTRPGs, if people just can't handle, like, difficult tactical challenges, or if it is just a meta shift where people prefer the more narrative, like, you know? It's so hard to figure out what the actual reason is, because a lot of people want to put their own narratives. You know, you ask a lot of I remember once I asked like, I posed a similar question in my chat. This was like a year or so ago, and somebody who I knew was in their 50s, like, immediately started shitting on Gen Zs, and I was like, okay, you're not here to actually answer the question of why players prefer to, like, have a more narrative game. You're just here to shit on Gen Zs. Like I'm not gonna shit on the Zoomers, bro. I'm sorry, I'm just not here to shit on them. And I think he got banned, actually. I'm pretty sure he got fucking banned. Pretty sure the mods got him. Haven't seen him since then. But, yeah, I don't know. Because, like, I think this for game design. Like, if I'm making the adventure for Eldar, like, what is the best way to make an adventure so the most amount of people want to play it? And that's something I think about a lot. Was this hate on combat? I don't know, man. He got banned, yeah. I'd ironically place a massive shift in the games industry at Mass Effect 3 2012. Really? You think Mass Effect 3 had something to do with it? What happened in Mass Effect 3 that made you feel like the games, or that made you think that the games industry was changed by it? Because I might have a suspicion. I'm curious what you'd say about it. But to say that Mass Effect 3 had that big of an impact, that's interesting. I'm all ears. I'm the ending, yeah, okay. Half the mods are Zoomers, makes sense. Yeah, actually, I'll get offended, man. Someone over the age of 32 comes in a stream and you're like, oh, the enemy. I mean, how old's our youngest mod? I think Ali's our youngest mod. I don't know. Youngest mod's like 22 or some shit, or 24. If it's not Ali, it could be a couple of different people. I think Ali said she's the youngest mod, but I'm not sure if that's true. I think our youngest mod probably is in their early 20s. Our oldest mod is probably me. Mass Effect 3 was it's pretty gnarly downer ending for a lot of people who hadn't experienced one. Oh, I see. Yeah. It wasn't really a good choice, like a good ending for Mass Effect 3. You're right about that. Taught them we can make shit endings. Yeah, true. There's a plethora of titles coming from or following that, which stayed far away from the style of storytelling. You know, I think you're right about that. Actually, yeah, that's really insightful. Because I was thinking it had something to do with the ending as well, but that really, I think that tracks. It was me for a bit, long time ago. You were the youngest mod. Old. Remember when I like said I wanted to like get more mods at some point in time, I had somebody who I knew was like 17 applied me a mod, and I was like, no, I'm sorry, you're not, no, mods have to be, no, mods. Sometimes the mods deal with heinous things. Nope. About the person who wrote the ending is now running Riot MMO. Really? Actually? Post Ghostcrawler. Now, hey, I didn't actually hate Andromeda. I think Andromeda was fun. I liked Andromeda more than most people did. I didn't think it was the best Mass Effect game or even the best like sci-fi game, but I thought Andromeda was this like boppy little like campy kind of space adventure. I wasn't mad at Andromeda, I guess I should say. Like I think a lot of people were. That's interesting. Wait, who is it? The only titles as far as I know. Who is in charge of the Riot MMO after Ghostcrawler left? Who is it? I just see a bunch of stuff about Ghostcrawler's new MMO. Pity don't hate it. Hate EA for ruining Bioware. Fucking love Bioware. Dude, so I've told a story before on stream, but I'll bore you guys again for a minute and a half. I was going to go work at Bioware. That was my career path, was Bioware. When I was in school, Bioware recruited a lot from my school. Because like on a map of Alberta, which is my province, it looks like this. Bioware is here. Bioware. And I went to school here. And there's like, this is a 3.5 hour drive in between. So I was going to go to, I grew up here, and I went to school here, and I was going to move up here to go to Bioware. And I even like sat in on one of the, like a bunch of art directors and senior artists came down from Bioware and talked to students at their school. They recruited out of our school quite heavily. And so they came down to talk to the fourth years and give them a project and whatnot. And like, it was really cool. But we got to sit in on it one day because an instructor knew that we were really like a couple of us really wanted to go in the games industry. And she was like, hey, this isn't for you. This is for the fourth years, but like I know you're in second year, so come. You can come to the event. You should sit in the back. You know, don't make a fucking fuss, and you know, don't ask any questions. This is for the fourth years to have time with them, not for you. You'll have your time later on when you're in fourth year. But if you want to come and hear them talk about the games industry, you know, I'll let you come in on and listen on this. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. And so we went into it. We were listening to them talk about the games industry and about being a concept artist and whatever. And the art director for Dragon Age, he was this really cool dude. I forget his name, but he was talking about it. And after the fact, I was like, I know it's not for us, but I kind of want to slither over and just ask him like a quick question. Because I wanted to ask him something about portfolio and how much fantasy work I can have in my portfolio, or like if fantasy work excludes you from science fiction work. Because I was like, does Dragon Age exclude me from Mass Effect or Jade Empire or whatever, or KOTOR, I think it was, at the time, is what I was wondering about. And so I asked him, and I was like, yeah, man, hey, just, you know, real quick question. I'm sorry. Like, if I have a portfolio mostly full of fantasy, does that like make me like ineligible for like science fiction work, like for KOTOR or something like that? And he was like, no, it's like great, dude. Like, you do fantasy work? And I was like, oh yeah, like I do a lot of like art for my D&D game. And his eyes lit up, and he was like, wait, you do art for your D&D game? I'm like, yeah, it's like I make a lot of art for my D&D game. And we immediately hit it off and bonded because he got his job at BioWare because the previous art director saw his DM screen, that he made a custom DM screen. And he was so excited, and he was like, dude, like when you're in fourth year, like I'm gonna remember you, bro. Like I want you to come talk to me or whatever. Like when we, I want like D&D players, we're good. Like he was definitely like giving me a little bit of a scout. And it was I didn't realize at the time, but he was being very kind. And I was like gonna go work at BioWare, man. I was all excited about it. But in between that moment, that conversation, and my fourth year, EA bought BioWare. And him and most of the other staff left or got transferred. So I'm so mad because I had like sort of the school invited the new like art directors down. They're like, hey, do you guys want to continue this tradition of art directors coming down to our school and recruiting? And they're like, no, we prefer to recruit from our Vancouver offices. And they're like, oh, you're going to recruit from a bunch of people who draw stuff for sports games? Yes. Fuck you. We don't need any of your Alberta talent. And they're like, okay. And it sucked. Like you said, I dodged a bullet a little bit, DC, but like the thing is, if I had gotten a job in there, even if I'd like you, that's you putting your reps in. For the games industry, one of the biggest things you can do is get your reps in and get like experience shipping titles, right? Like any path to a game studio you want is paved in shipping titles. So even if you ship a bad title but your art is decent, they will still sort of give you a bit of cred for like, oh, so you've shipped a title before, so you know how production works. Okay, sure, like yeah, you can come work for us. And I never did that, and so that single that single event was one of the biggest things that kept me out of the games industry and kept me from sort of fulfilling that dream that I had, because I was not about to go to Vancouver and intern there and leave Ella, because I figured if I like Ella was in school at the time, I was in school at the time, so it's like I get a job right out of school as an intern at BioWare. Okay, I can come back on the weekends. Like it's a 3.5 hour drive. That's not a big problem, you know. But if I went to Vancouver, I wouldn't see Ella for like half of a year or more, and I was not about to do that. So I chose not to. I chose not to take any of those internship offers or whatever, which kept me out of the games industry. Which I, for the longest time in my life, I felt was my biggest failure as a person, that I never made it in the games industry. I never saw my dream come true. I still feel that sometimes, honestly. I still feel the sting of that once in a while. Now I'm doing a project years later that I'm much happier with, but I do sort of feel like I wish in some way that I had still got a chance to experience the games industry for a couple of years, that I got to work at those studios and ship a title or two and work on a team, even if I wasn't going to stay there for the long term, and even if I'm happy that I've ended up here. You know, it's that like kind of feeling of like, I always wanted to ship a World of Warcraft title. I always wanted to work on a Star Wars title. I always wanted to ship a BioWare RPG. So there's a bit of like sour grapes there, but it is kind of funny with the EA takeover. I've been shot working a developer about 10 times, and then I moved to Las Vegas and actually got shot when I started working security. Damn, bro, what the fuck? That's intense. The lead designer for a while got the job because the owners found his D&D art. Yep. You would have gone to BioWare, you wouldn't have been here enjoying your Eldara stuff. Maybe, but maybe, Jacob, I would have gotten more experience, and I could have like launched out of. I could have left my senior art position at like Riot or Blizzard or whatever a year or two ago, and had a like you know how big of a boon it is when you're an artist. If you're like, oh, I'm a former Blizzard artist, I'm a former BioWare artist, you can leverage that for your personal brand so hard. Lots of people have and do. And so maybe I wouldn't be working on some small little project on Twitch. Maybe I'd have already shipped my RPG or whatever. You never know though, right? It's hard. You can't really dwell on that kind of stuff, I think. But so you're right. It's hard for my brain to not think that it was like a net bad. But like, you know what I really worry about though, Jacob, is that I worry that I would have gotten comfortable. I have a friend who works in the games industry, and he's very comfortable, and he scares the shit out of me. He scares the shit out of me. A couple years ago, he got paid for the first time. I remember he was like happy about it and celebrating. He wasn't bragging about it like an asshole. But he was like, guys, I finally cleared 6 figures this year, and we were all so happy for him. You know, but he fucking hates his job, and I think he probably makes like 150K, 200K now, probably actually a little bit more, to be honest. But he hates his job, and at one point in time, he let he had this dream of making his own game, and he let it die because he's like, well, I used to have this dream, but you know, it's not sensible and whatever, and like I gotta, you know, I want to do this and that, and I want to do a family, and it's like I want to go on my vacation every year, and like I don't want to give that up for this like thing. And like the way he justifies it, he's like, I don't know, I'm not gonna like pretend like he's not happy. I don't know, I hope he's happy, but I know that there's a part of him that I see that holds a massive amount of regret, and I'm terrified I would have gotten very like comfortable working on like a project for somebody else, and that I never would have given myself a chance to do it. So you're right. You might be right that it's a blessing. I might have dodged the entire bullet of making, you know, a livable wage in the games industry and working there for, you know, 2 decades. And then next thing I know, I open my eyes and I'm 43 years old and I've got 2 kids and a house in Irvine, California, and bills to pay. And I work for Blizzard or whatever. And I have this idea of a game. I have this idea of a story. I have this idea for art that just dies in my soul. And that, I think, scares the absolute shit out of me. Is the idea of those dreams dying. Now I might, like, I'll probably never, like, I don't know, who knows if I ever make my dreams come true and like do these amazing projects and whatever. I'm like, who cares? But I think there's something cool in like letting yourself try, you know. But it isn't like all glamorous. I mean, like, there's a lot of fear
Feels
and
bad, man.
Whatever. I wasn't talking about you, Dashto. Holy fuck, I wasn't talking about you, man. You know who I was talking about. But I wasn't talking about you. Shut up, you fucking weirdo. Shut the fuck up. Thanks for 9 months at tier 3. I appreciate it, bro. You know who I'm talking about. And he scares the shit out of me. Because he's so comfortable and doesn't want for his project anymore. And that scares me. And I hope he's happy. I hope he's happy. I bet he is. I bet he drives a nice car and he's got a cool place and he works at his job that he fucking hates. But I hope he's happy. I really, really hope he's happy. I hope he doesn't regret anything. But I know that somewhere he's mentioned before that he does, and that scares the shit out of me. So, Dead Pirate Gaming, wait, what? Get comfortable, but you also get comfortable with the abuse higher ups drop on the team. Yeah, I've heard that one a couple times. Ashes of Creation is basically a homie hitting it big in the real estate market and turning that money into wanting to make the game they wanted to make when they didn't go into the games industry. Absolutely. Like, I've thought about this a lot. You know, what would I do? Like, I think that people, like, you know what I don't get? I don't get people with a lot of money that don't do dumb shit. Right? Like, I wouldn't call myself a car guy, but I am a car guy. I like cars. I like automotives. I like motorsport. If I ever had $5 million to spend on something, would I buy myself my dream Koenigsegg? Probably not. That's a car, by the way. It's a $5 million car. I would much happier or be like, I'd much rather, if I had the money to throw away, hire a small like indie studio to make a cool little game for me. Like my cool little Realms of Eldara game I want to make. I want to make, like, if I want to make something kind of dumb, like let's say like I want to make like a Eldara like Vampire Survivors type game where I want to tell a little story about an Astral Knight or something like that. I'd rather hire a small studio for however many years you can afford a studio for $5 million to make a little game. You know, I wouldn't want to spend it on some big, you know, piece of luxury. I think that when you get money, I mean, I don't fucking know, but I think that if you get money and you start spending it on luxury and not projects, you've kind of checked out. But then again, what the fuck do I know? But I see a lot, like, I'm always so happy when I see billionaires and stuff doing dumb shit with their money, because I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Go make a game, go start this company or do that thing. I really resonated with the head of Larian Studios when he was talking about how money is fuel, it's not the end goal. Money is fuel to do something else cool. It's not something you covet and squirrel away and whatever. Obviously, you want to be safe and protected and whatever and comfortable, but man, when you start buying luxurious shit, if it makes you happy, like, do whatever you want, bro. But for me, I think I'd rather make a video game like Ashes or something. Alabaster Consortium Psychological Horror spinoff. Is that what we're doing next? I'll do it. Consortium Survivors. I'm scared because I'm the opposite. I'm scared I could never settle down or just stop moving. Yeah, maybe. So don't stop moving. Fuck it. Who cares? You do what you want in life. It's a new age. The Western dream of buying a house and getting a dog and getting them married and whatnot and just making your retirement money and getting your pension or whatever, that's kind of gone, dude. It's a new world, and I think it's a perfect time to not be content and to do dumb shit and to never settle down if you don't want to. You do what you want. You travel until the day you die. You go find different jobs and go do different shit every 2 years if you want. Like, fuck it. I'd say don't be scared of it. I'd say embrace it. Embrace the chaos. Obviously try and, like, you know, build yourself a safety net and build yourself, like, you know, a farm to come back to if you ever want to, more or less, like a quote-unquote farm in the whole don't bet the farm. But if you want to, if you're a spirited individual that wants to go out there and conquer the world and go see everything, fuck it. Have fun, man. Tell me your stories. Yeah, Thorkin's a games industry artist now, Dashto. He's an official industry artist. What a G, hey? I'm impressed anyway. How do I want to do this? I think I sometimes I overthink what I'm about to do with my art, and I think I just get stun locked sometimes. And I think I got stun locked just there for a moment. I'm not sure if it was obvious. Part of me hopes it isn't when I get stun locked, but it's also streaming and recording is kind of tough because, like, normally I don't sit down and, like, just make art for as long as I do on stream. Normally I take more breaks. I like get up and I take breaks in ways that aren't good for stream, you know? Like, for instance, what I would do when I'm, like, working on my own stuff or whatever is, like, I'll take a 15-minute break to go play World of Warcraft every 2 hours or whatever. Or, like, go for a walk. You know, you can't really do that when you're streaming, obviously. You can get up and, like, go stretch your legs or whatever, but you can't mentally sort of reset in the way that I like to do. So sometimes if I'm, like, unsure of what to do, I need to, like, process it in the back of my head. I've been trying to, like, brute force through it because it's, like, really not good for stream to, like, be like, okay, guys, I know we're, like, making characters and talk about D&D to get today, but, like, I'm gonna go play World of Warcraft for 20 minutes. Like, okay. Like, great. Resident sleeper. Guys are going to play chat plays D&D for 20 minutes while I try and not think about my art for a little bit. Or some shit. The issue not stopping is I'm 27 and burnt out massively twice and refuse to stop. Gone so far in my career that and currently thought is, fuck it, I need to get out and do something new because I've gotten comfortable. That's fair. All the change and adrenaline junkie used to start in my job because it was an adrenaline inducing, and now I'm used to it and I'm bored. I mean, like, isn't there, like, a whole thing, like, about how people who tend to change jobs a lot tend to be more successful in those jobs position wise and make more money? That it's, like, a good thing to move every once in a while? I don't know. Obviously, you got to do what you got to do for your own life, but I'd say if you feel like you need to live in chaos a little bit, like, embrace it. That's who you are naturally. It is hard, though, you know, when you have, like, a family and stuff, and, like, you're getting married soon and shit, so I get it. It's probably added complications in there. Probably a lot going on, but I don't know, man. I think it'd be okay. Trying to get on my security contract here. I want to go vanish of a mountain in the Alps. Yeah, the reason job jobs do well is mostly because a lot of companies have stopped promoting upwards. True, actually. Real and true. I'd want to go get a nice little... I mean, I don't know. I want to make a studio one day. I want to have a studio. A game studio. I want to make cool little Eldara story games that are really high quality experiences. As long as it is, like, self-sufficient and self-funding, that's good enough for me. I think that greed gets in the way of creativity too often. Greed and fear. You know, one thing that I think I'm really proud of myself for, like, realizing, but I also am disappointed in myself for forgetting sometimes, is that I think that no decision I've ever made in my life based on fear has ever been a good one. And when it comes to art and, like, streaming and stuff, it's kind of the same thing. Anytime you make a decision on what you're going to do creatively based on fear, you do make a poor decision. And, like, I have friends that I see do that, you know? And I've seen it. I've learned firsthand and by watching people. You never want to make decisions on what you're going to do creatively based on fear. You gotta sort of trust the process in some ways, but that's fucking terrifying sometimes, especially if you haven't gotten paid in 3 months and you can't afford to eat. It's like, oh yeah, trust the process, I'm sure. You know? Well, let's say the world ends with you because it does. People see the world from their angle, and the biggest advantage I gained always moving is I see the world from different angles and my world grows. Yeah, it's true. I definitely think travel has been one of the most valuable things in my life. I didn't travel like ever, but when I was young. And when I first, like the first time I set foot in a different country, or sorry, different continent, was like this moment of revelation for me. I realized how small my world was up until that point. How different things actually are. My perception and my perspective was like kind of off. I was so concerned about what my experience was and like what I was seeing and what I was doing that I didn't know what the fuck other people, like I couldn't empathize. I think it's a big problem in modern societies. People have forgotten, and even people who are aware it's a problem have forgotten how to shift their perspective. The greatest like sort of thing in understanding that is also knowing how much you fail at it too, which in my case is a lot and often. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't do it. Like I was talking about earlier today, the whole like Mexico thing. Like I ain't going to fucking Mexico. That's just dangerous, bro. But I'm aware that that's just like a part of my perception or my perspective or whatever. Dude, this guy is exhausting me, man. I'm trying to do this as like I'm trying to balance this between like a speed sketch that I can do for the internet and also as like a long project that I can have, like a high quality project that I can spend a long time on. So I don't want to be rushed, you know? Something like the environment we did yesterday, that's fine. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not this big important thing. This is for the game, man. This is for the Realms of Eldara first adventure Horizon. This is an important character portrait for an important character that you are going to talk to when you play the game. His name is Zephyrin Soul, and he is very pleased to make your acquaintance. He understands you are friends with Luna, and that she trusts you with this dangerous secret, this dangerous job. Or some shit like that, man. I don't know. Life's too short to gamble every now and then. Yeah, true.
His name is Boros Chumchansky.
What? You look that Slavic? Jesus. Do I actually have a bias when I draw attractive men? They all have to be Slavs because they're the most attractive men out there? Maybe. Thanks in a bits, dude. I appreciate it. Well, whatever I don't finish today, we'll finish tomorrow. So, I don't want to feel rushed with this important project. If I don't have a TikTok tonight, it's fine. I don't need to have a fucking TikTok every day. When I started posting, I had a friend say, like, dude, you can't fuck this up, man. You have to post every single day now. I was like, no. No. I don't have enough TikTok to post every single day. It's not going to happen. Then your account is forfeit. You will never grow. The algorithm will forsake you. Oh, okay. Sorry, man. Go back. Post on TikTok. Alright, Sir Guinness, I'm sorry. I'm so relieved that I could post some dumbass like environmental sketch and people liked it. You know how nice that is of a feeling? That I don't have to just post like characters or fan art or anything. People still like it. It's like liberating, you know? It's a freeing feeling, I guess. Yeah, shit, that's a lot of views, man. Damn. Why's your Alec Guinness so good? I don't know. I don't think it is. Just clip the last minute. There's your TikTok. Ah, you're right about that shit. Keeping up the social media game is exhausting, man. Like, I can't wait until I make enough money doing dumb shit that I can hire a person to do a lot of the dumb shit for me. Right? Like, I look at these streamers and I think, like, it's so nice when you, like, are a big enough streamer to have an editor that just clips your stream for you and turns your stream into videos. It's like, one day, man, the second I can afford that, you'll know. There'll be signs. There will be signs. I was gonna find a new time to play D&D with Fishy. I was gonna make some clips and stuff out of that. I'm very bummed that we can't play anymore on Tuesday mornings. We gotta find a different time. I really didn't want to start streaming a D&D game in the evenings. For a while, anyway. But I think we're gonna have to. We gotta figure out a time for that. Level 13? Wait, what? Voluntel a mod to do it? No, the mods don't watch my streams anymore. I gotta get new mods, man. There's like 2 mods that watch my stream. Those are like, he's washed up, he's old news, man. Fuck that guy. I'm like, yeah, I agree. I gotta hire an editor mod, a video editor mod. Otherwise, Blaze is gonna do it. Blaze dude does too much. He does the work of 14 mods. Him and Thorkin, man. Keeping this channel running. No. A lot of the mods are just busy, it's fine. If I asked one of the mods to do it, I bet they would. I just don't want to. All the mods are just so supportive and kind that I bet if I asked them for help they would, but I just can't do it. I can't edit? Well, good. Good. Probably would. That's a problem. All right. I feel like his robes aren't like particularly inspired by anything. They're just general robes, man. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. How many times have I told you to tell me such what you need help with? The problem is, okay, the issue is that what I need help with is so brutally like either I'm the only one that can do it or I can't ask for help with it. You know, is the issue. Like either I have to do it or I can't ask somebody else to do it for me. Like I'm not, even if a mod did offer to like edit stuff for me, like I wouldn't let him because I'd have to pay them for their time, and that's just my growth on the internet and on Twitch and on whatever is not like the personal responsibility of the mods. I need to figure it out first, and then if I, you know, need help and have the means to, then yeah, I'll ask, be like, hey, does somebody want to take care of this thing for me, and I'll pay you like $200 a month, cool, or whatever. But until I can do that, there's nothing I can really ask for help with, you know? Ask anyways, we can at least help you figure stuff out. Yeah, maybe you can help me find a solution, actually. Yeah, maybe that's true. I get my eyes to rest for a second. Oh, God, I've been staring at this shit for hours. What seems like hours just staring at the same. So many times when I've told you to tell us what you need help with. I was gonna, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everybody does so much for me already. You know, you guys like manage the Discord and like keep it safe, and you manage stream and whatnot, and you guys just like take care of shit that I don't even realize you're doing at the time. You know, and later on I'm like, oh wait, they like totally took care of this thing, and I didn't have to even like think about it. But I can't ask for more, you know? Be unreasonable. Do I want to add a pattern or something to his stupid robes? Maybe. I mean, kind of. I don't know. Man, the one concern I have about if I stop this in the middle and don't just one-shot it all the way through is if I come back to it tomorrow, I'll have to change the like the what am I trying to say? The like view window of it ever so slightly, and it'll like at some point in the video just like jump or zoom or just like cut a little bit, and it'll be kind of weird. Maybe it won't be that weird. Maybe it won't look that weird. But party wants to just try and one-shot this entire piece today. I know it's a lot of work, but I feel like I kind of need to. But also it's unrealistic for the future going forward, so I should probably try and figure out how to do it without needing that to do that. Maybe the time limits would be good to put on me. I do think that that's one of the things that artists need to like really focus on a lot is not taking a billion years to do stuff. At a certain point in time, you can like try and improve as an artist via becoming better, but I think that also that there's a very worthwhile sense of improvement that you get by becoming faster. Like, which upgrade do you want to put your points into this week? You want to try and upgrade your speed or your skill? A lot of artists, they view skill as the only thing important, so they don't try and upgrade their speed. But a lot of artists have like this kind of like mindset that they don't want to spend too much time on any given piece. They don't have the patience for it, so all they do is they upgrade their speed. And they never touch their skill. It's tough, man. You gotta do both. Throw some mod chat. Even if we can't directly help with it, we can at least offer advice or help come up with some solutions and stuff. Yeah, that's true. I probably should. No, you're all willing to help.
Why is every Square Enix boss the same? Hooded dude standing hidden in plain sight half behind a wall or rock. Summons a boss while the henchman gives you a shit-eating grin, appears after fight on top of a cliff or waterfall, says a bunch of random shit, then teleports away.
Because DC, it sells. God damn it, it sells. And you know what? It's gonna continue to sell. Yep. Yep. People saw it one time. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna do that for the rest of my. Yeah, that's what I want. I don't know what you want, but that is what I want. And they decided, you know? Dude, I agree. I agree. But like, that's just the way it is, you know? Consulting artists at the game studio I worked at in London, Ontario had 8 hours active working limit on most weapons. They had to ask permission to continue past that. Crazy. Never heard of a hard time limit like that. Most bosses are exactly the same IRL as the one in the game. Just a dude on a cliff, man. Yeah, fuck him. Yeah, I get it. I don't know. I kind of like the anime evil boss vibe that you get from Square Enix stuff. They just kind of lean into it, you know? You know what I haven't played yet? Final Fantasy 16. I'm kind of bummed about it. I've not played 16 yet, and I want to. But it's still only PS5, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. I definitely don't have a PS5, and I definitely don't think I want one, to be honest. Realistically, I don't think I want to buy another console. I think I'm over consoles now. They used to be really cool, but maybe like a new Switch or a new handheld or something like that if it comes out, a new Nintendo console. I think I'm kind of just done with Sony and Xbox consoles. Like, beat the game or whatever. I survived the console war. I don't know. I have no real desire to spend that kind of money on it. It's expensive too. That shit's like hundreds of dollars for. I don't know what I would buy. I'd like play on it besides Square, like Final Fantasy. Square Enix is like one of the only companies still making like console exclusives like that, right? Me as a CEO, yeah. Person like started staring at planes all day in a dark robe. Actually true though. Panic releasing titles on the PC, so I expect the announcement of more titles to come onto Steam. That's probably true, yeah. I'll probably see it soon, I think. I actually wanted to play it when it was new and everybody was talking about it, you know? Playing all these old school games is cool. But I wanted to play the new thing when it was new, you know? I wanted to see it when everyone else was seeing it. Experience it with the masses. Be there for the release. Talk about it with the streamers. I wanted it to be a big, like, cultural Baldur's Gatean moment. Where everyone was streaming the game and playing it and talking about it and everybody was chilling. It looked cool too. I used to freak out with Final Fantasy releases. They were like the best thing ever. They were like the gold standard for video games, you know? Nothing was better than a Final Fantasy release. I remember when 12 came out and we took the day off school to go get it. We like had a spare in high school and we went to the EB Games or whatever it was called. to buy our copy of Final Fantasy 12 Steelbook Edition. We all went home, played the shit out of it that night, and came into school the next day talking about it. And I remember when 13 came out, I was there when my friends were at my place when we started playing it, and I hated it. I was so disappointed by 13. And then 14 came out, and I was disappointed by that because 14 on release sucked. And then 15 was disappointing on release because 15, for fuck's sakes, like, basically they said, hey, here's the game, but it's not finished. It's going to be, you have to buy all this DLC. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to wait for the game to be finished before I'm going to play through it. Like, Christ, man. And then later, they had said, oh, by the way, all the DLC we were going to release to finish Final Fantasy 15, we're not going to release it. So, to be very honest, I still don't know what edition to buy of Final Fantasy 15 to see the most amount of story. And to see, like, the most proper, canonical, whatever playthrough. I have no idea how to even play Final Fantasy 15. So, I still haven't. And then 16 just do whatever 16's doing. I don't fucking know. I don't play it. It's tough, man. It's tough being a Final Fantasy gamer. JRPGs are always super inspiring for me, though. You like Kingdom Hearts? Kingdom Hearts. I tried to play Kingdom Hearts, but the thing is, I wasn't into Kingdom Hearts when it came out. Because what year did Kingdom Hearts come out? It was like early 2000s, right? Kingdom Hearts 1 release date. How old was I? Because I remember why I didn't play this. So I was 12 years old. It came out in 2002, March 28th. So I was 11. I turned 12 a month after Kingdom Hearts came out. So I was not interested in Kingdom Hearts for one specific reason. I can tell you why. And you're not going to like the reason. But remember, this is the reason of not me, the ascended adult. This is the reason of me, the 12-year-old. I wasn't going to be caught dead playing Kingdom Hearts because it had Disney shit in it. And guess what? Disney's for girls. All right? Kingdom Hearts? Fuck that shit. I ain't playing it. I never did. My mom was so excited about it. And so I never played Kingdom Hearts. And then later on, and the problem is, I wanted to later on, like when I was older, like in high school and shit, but I never did because I didn't know how to start the game because there's like 8 versions. And so one day I tried to like multiple times I've tried to get Ella to explain to me how to play what the story of Kingdom Hearts was. The newest one that came out was like Kingdom Hearts 3 or something, or 4 or whatever, that came out a couple years ago. We bought it and I was like, I'm gonna try and watch Ella play this game because she knows what's going on. I don't know what's going on. So I watched some lore videos and I did the whole thing and I tried to get into it because she loved it and she was so excited about Kingdom Hearts, a new game. And so I tried to, and multiple times I tried to get her to explain lore inconsistencies and she just couldn't. She just stared at me and like got frustrated. I asked a friend at school to explain Kingdom Hearts to me once and she just started crying. So like, I don't know, man. I don't know shit about what's going on in that game. So I don't. I think Ashley's tried to explain Kingdom Hearts to me a couple times. I just don't. I'm too dumb for it. So I don't know. Never got to be a Kingdom Hearts enjoyer, unfortunately. Better or worse, whatever that looks like. Get incredibly drunk and play Birth by Sleep. That's all you need. Oh, okay, cool. Got it. Got it. That's all we got to do? Sick. 40's massive lore inconsistency because of most of the staff just don't give a fuck about addressing any of it. That's fair. I mean, I like 14 quite a bit. It's one of my favorite games right now. It's very solid. I have a lot of fun with it. But yeah, there's probably a lot of issues with it. A lot of inconsistencies, a lot of problems. To be fair, I don't know what the fuck's going on in 14 half the time either. I'm only in Stormblood right now, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I need a basic sizing for this book. Make it on a new layer. Ooh, that's too big. Whatever. Not gonna make it super clean or whatever. It doesn't need to be. I just want to have a basic size for some of this shit figured out. But yeah, JRPGs used to inspire the shit out of me for D&D. I spent a lot of time ripping off JRPG stories and plots and hooks and stuff for my D&D game. And you know what? I don't regret any of it. I'll do it again. Some of my most favorite D&D villains or whatever, I'd rip off from some like PS1 RPG. My friends would have no idea until like later on. Like back when we were kids, it was like a cool thing to do was to go and play through old JRPGs. Like it's considered really cool to have like a good working knowledge of like the classic JRPG titles. You were very cultured at like anime conventions and shit. And so my friends would like go play an RPG and they'd be like, wait, when did you play this? I'm like a couple of years ago. They're like, did you just steal the idea of this villain for like this thing in D&D? I'm like, yep. Like, genius. They knew, man. They knew. That's okay. I never felt bad about it. I never felt like I,
Explaining KH is easy.
Is it?
Are you familiar with the lore of Persona?
Yes. Yes. At least mostly. Enough that I can enjoy the games.
Cool, well it's nothing like that.
God damn it. Alright, okay, dude. Okay. Got it. Thanks, man. Thanks for that. That's great, dude. That's fantastic. I'm so thrilled. Well, I don't know what I expected. I don't know what I expected. I should shouldn't have expected that. I was hoping for some super insightful, like, I don't know. I do enjoy Persona games quite a bit. I'm really looking forward to the new one. You know, I never played Persona 3 Reload. I was going to, but there's an issue with that. The issue was I didn't. So you can see how this stood in the way of me playing the game, is the fact that I didn't play it. Now, I even bought Xbox Game Pass because of it. Not just because of it. A couple of games I wanted to play were on Xbox Game Pass. And so I got Xbox Game Pass. And I realized that Elle and I didn't really use it all much, so I canceled it like a week or two ago.
Man wants to live forever, so he steals someone else's body, then splits it into two forms. Then keeps getting his shit stomped by Goofy Donald and some kid with a massive fuck off key.
Well, why are they mad at him for wait, why are they mad at him then? Like bro just stole another dude's body. Like, who cares? That's like some billionaire shit, like buying organs or something. That's fine. Is this one of those the villain was actually right stories? I for 100 bits. Thanks, man. In a nutshell, man wants to live forever. Ended a sort of professional relationship with Square following Stormblood. Non-payment of service is just... Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Yeah, I always wanted to work for Square when I was young. I had this dream of going to Japan working for Square Enix, making a game, marrying an adorable anime cat girl, living happily ever after in Tokyo. Every day, man, just eating freshly made bento by my pretty Japanese waifu. Getting paid a lot of money.
Because old man blew up his island and kidnapped his friends. The other two
Oh.
are just happy to be there, and because Disney is paying for this shit.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, fair, fair. I think I understand a little bit more now. So, just Big Madge for not great reasons. Cool. Cool shit. Haven't played Kingdom Hearts yet? Probably won't. God damn it. Impressed with how you're able to summarize this. So the problem is that the question nobody can answer for me when I always have about the Kingdom Hearts is I get a little bit of lore here and there. It's like a Keyblade or like a Dream Blade or like a something blade or whatever. The question that nobody can like really ever answer for me is who the main character is. Is it Mickey? Because there's like multiple effeminate young boys with anime hair protagonist hairstyles that I don't know which one of them is the main character. But damn, are the cosplays the conventions fire. I don't know which 15-year-old with a big sword is the main fucking character.
My favorite part was when then made you think they killed Goofy for longer than I thought they would.
Really? They made you think they killed off Goofy? They didn't kill off Goofy, did they? Disney wouldn't have had it, right? Disney would have been like, there's no shot you're killing off Goofy. Like, just put him back, idiot, you know? That's the part people cried, wasn't it? Kind of. No, well, okay. She didn't cry because she was, like, sad. She cried because she was so frustrated. She was trying to explain it, and she just couldn't. And she was just, like, getting so frustrated by it. It was stressing her out, man. I don't know, maybe it's really sad or some shit? I don't know. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Hellblade 2 dropped? Yeah, I don't know. People were talking about Hellblade 2. I never really liked the idea of Hellblade. To be fair, I don't know too much about it, but what I know about it is not flattering. I could tell you what I know about the game, but I don't think that would. I
can see the confusion because Yusora is one person that also 5 people, and one of those dudes looks like another of the other dudes, and it made sense. Then they showed another dude that looked like another dude. That didn't make sense.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Also, he's 3 dudes and a chick. He's basically 4 goblins in a trench coat.
God damn it. This isn't helping. We're not clarifying anything right now for me. This isn't, there's no clarifications to be had. I'm just more confused now. What's up, Spirit? You see, explain it perfectly? Really? Okay, got it. All right, I'll take your word for it. I don't know, man. This whole thing seems a little bit silly to me. I'm not sure how invested I'm going to be in playing Kingdom Hearts. The fuck do all the Disney characters do, though? And who's the Gandalf-looking dude? And where's Minnie? And Pluto? And Mulan. I don't know if Mulan's in there or not. Does the game at least have all my favorite Disney princesses in it? Like, Rapunzel and Tiana? Or is it all old school shit like Jasmine? Is all of this just because there was a Pocahontas like level or whatever, and Al's favorite Disney movie is Pocahontas? Is that what it's all about? Hellblade is a hallucinogenic PTSD game, gamified with very strange bastardization of the Norse Eddas. Really? Half decent story. First one had banger of an ending track in Pastorella Death Squad. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I heard that. Well, okay, whatever. I heard somebody summarize Hellblade up once, and I said hard pass.
In my defense, this game makes no sense, and the third game was dedicated to spelling it all out as best they can while tying up all the different stories.
And did
Minnie
they?
and Pluto stay in the castle doing fuck all. Mulan is in the second game. Therese Jack Sparrow. The Gandalf guy was Yun Lao or some shit.
Oh, okay. 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 I'm just... Alright. I'm getting stressed out, man. I'm not even playing the game and I'm getting stressed out by it right now. This isn't good. I'll stick with non-confusing games, thank you, like Xenosaga. Wait, shit. Wait, I think I fucked up. I think I chose the wrong game to stick with. Yeah, damn it. He's a freak, is he? I can Goofy walk and talk like a person, but Pluto can't? Wait, is Pluto Goofy's dog? Like, Goofy doesn't have a dog, right? That'd be weird. Then again, I suppose if Pluto's not Goofy's dog and he's like Donald or Mickey's dog or some shit, that's also weird too. Why is this dog owned by a mouse or a duck? Or another dog? The whole thing's weird, damn it. I'm not going back to Disneyland ever again. Fuck this. I'm staying home. I'm eating my chemical churros from Mucho Burrito instead of Disneyland. Thank you. And I am good. Is he a sage? Maybe. Does it look like a sage ring on his glove? Kind of. Oh my god. Is he a secret sage? Evan said that he is classless. He's just a scholar. This is a secret lore drop? No? Okay, got it. Pluto's Mickey's dog. Okay. Pluto is Mickey's dog. Who's Pluto's dog? Wait, is Goofy Pluto's dog? Disney's silly. I'm not gonna. Ever since Disney got Marvel, it's just been getting sillier and sillier. The whole thing's been getting absurd. can't with it, man. All right. Okay. We're actually slowly getting there, I think. Might actually get this done. Fuck yeah. According to Google, based on what Disney has supposedly said, Goofy just looks like a dog and Pluto's an actual dog. Okay. Well, that makes sense now. That makes this entire thing make sense. Only 20 seconds is all you need to know. That's fair. Yeah, that's reasonable. Fuck, I need to make this some like old Eldarian stuff, but shit. I don't want to invent the entire language today. I need to get Cobalt to do that for me later. No, I actually have a substantial chunk of the language finished. I just don't want to go get it. Maybe I'll leave the book blank for now. Probably easier, I guess. Okay, let me just quickly go reset my eyes and grab more water. See about Willy themed boomer
Posted
shooter?
the best
What?
reference in stream topics. It's all you need to know, summed up in 20 seconds.
Okay. Okay. Wait, what?
Mickey, it says here you want to divorce your wife, Minnie, because she's been extremely silly?
I didn't say that! I said she was fucking goofy!
Jesus.
Wake me up inside. I can't wake up, wake me up.
Okay, Disney, we're fucking done here. We did just close the entire park, man. Just close the park. God damn it. Okay, I'll be right back. I need a drink. God damn it. All right. Shit. The whole thing is recording the whole time. Damn it. Should have paused. He actually can't pause. You can only cancel the recording. Guess I could have made it multiple videos. Whatever. I don't think that was too much. Don't think with art, just do. It's the rule, man. Okay. Can we finish this in one shot? Probably, to be honest. Got it later? Yeah, you're right about that. Probably can. There was like one little bit in the other sketch that I thought about cutting because it was like kind of weird and like looked like I wasn't doing anything for like a half second. I probably should have cut it.
Cycrolutes Marsadews, the average ASMR YouTuber viewer.
I don't even know what ASMR YouTubers there are out there. I can't even think of any names. Hold on. Let's see. The average ASMR YouTuber view. Oh my God. Really? Fish Moly? Or no, this isn't Fish Moly. Really, man? That's your average ASMR VTuber viewer? This is who's in chat? When you go to like some fucking ASMR VTuber whatever stream or whatever, and everyone's just like, oh, you're so hot. This is who's on the other end of that. POV, you found your little brother watching ASMR VTubers. Would okay, all right. 8-7. 8-7. 8-7. Now I'm just disappointed, and I don't know in what. I don't know why, and I don't know what I'm disappointed in. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed in humanity, maybe. I haven't been this disappointed since I realized that gacha players exist. Dude. Man, do you remember when games were good? Remember before gacha? Remember before ASMR YouTuber streams? I remember. I don't watch ASMR full stop, but I know there's loads of them. Yeah, I didn't know they did that. Makes sense though. Girl I used to work with at the game store had like an ASMR YouTube channel, and she had like tens of thousands of subscribers. I'd be like, so what do you do? And she's like, well, I make like neuro activating sounds with like various items. I was like, cool. Neat. Anyway. I'm impressed but not interested. I'm sorry. It's the way it goes, man. Gacha games or players, my game released a new character and I got it on the second pull. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you fucking did. You know why? Because you're a gamer. And you gamed it. Because damn it, that's what gamers do. Remember when I could sink hundreds of hours into a single save on Morrowind and not have any fucking clue what I was doing? Yeah, true. Is autoplay a big feature in most gacha games, or is that like only a couple of them? Trying to find a connection there with gacha players and what's wrong with them, because I don't think gacha players actually enjoy video games for the most part. I think very few people who play video games, like I think most gacha players are like they're in the hyper niche of gacha. They only play gacha games, you know. Just fine. It's just I'm trying to figure out what's happening with game design now, you know? Noise make brain go tingle and I sleep? Really? Okay. Cool. Fuck yeah. I should create an ASMR VTuber channel where I make ASMR videos for D&D players with my hot catboy avatar, just whispering shit about initiative and like rolling loot or whatever. Use the Catboy that Eiley made for me. What the fuck Eiley's been up to? I haven't talked to her in a while. It's been a bit. Which porn through or just people having really loud a hard art to master? Yeah, is it? Play gacha games because it gives me something to do while I'm at work, watching anime and Twitch instead of working. That's true. Dude, the only mobile game I play is Pokemon Go. I play it while I'm at the gym. Like a real man. Yeah, the gym this morning, this dude next to me was just lightning rounding Tinder in between sets. He was just swiping so aggressively, or some dating app. I don't know. Honestly don't know what Tinder or the other dating apps look like, but I assumed it was a bunch of pictures of girls. Just, it's like, damn, bro. Just going to the gym, putting in work, and then just swiping. Like, dude went through probably 200 girls in 5 minutes on his phone. I was shocked, man. In between sets, I'm like catching Pidgeys and shit. A lot of D&D ASMR, is there? Okay, well, there goes my market idea. I can play through the entirety of Coder 1 with a guidebook and still having no idea what the hell is going on. Dude, I remember buying... You remember buying like the fucking guidebook for the game when a game comes out? That was so good, man. You don't want to miss any secrets or anything. You got it for a bundle. You buy the game for $50. The guidebook's $15 for the Prima strategy guide. Oh, yeah, dude. The actual days. Or like, you know, in games for the N64 era, you used to have like hotlines you could call if you don't know how to progress. Hello, I'm stuck on round 4 in perfect dark. I don't know where to go. The only time I ever called or wrote into a video game was when I got my free Mario Party glove. There were kids that were like burning holes in their hands, so you could write into or call or whatever Nintendo America, and they'd send you a fingerless left or right-handed glove. So when you do the thing like the spinning game with the N64 joystick, you didn't burn a hole in your hand. And so every day when I played Mario Party, my brother and I put on our gloves. We'd play Mario Party. that were so cool. Went to a friend's house. It wasn't branded or anything. It was just a fucking glove. That shit was good, man. Was he swiping left or right, all of them? It was like I don't know, it was like 50-50. It was like I don't know, it almost seemed like I know that you can swipe left and right. I don't know which one is which, but I know you can swipe people like away or swipe people like good, like I want to date you, or like I don't want to date you. They have to swipe you too, right? And brother James over here was just like, he was making decisions on these girls in like a couple of milliseconds. He was literally like going this fast. He was like, it's like, dude, you're making an entire decision on whether you date this girl with like less than a tenth of a second. Like, what? Holy shit. Like, dude knows what he wants, apparently. I don't know, man. And then he just crank a bunch of fucking weight on the row machine and then go back and drop the entire stack and then just like, holy shit, bro. He's a good looking dude too. I have a hard time believing he had a hard time getting dates. But maybe it's a new age. What's it like to be 22 and unable to find a secure relationship because everyone in your generation's too fucking Twitter burnt? Or sorry, Tinder burnt. Your brain's just fried on Tinder dating. You don't even know what direction up is. Sucks, bro, really? Seems like it sucks. Like, I'll be honest, it just seems like it sucks. I'm sorry. I got nothing. I got no like saving grace. I got no like you know, no words of wisdom or motivation or like, it's okay, you know, it's just a new era, like you'll be fine. I got nothing, man. It seems like it fucking sucks. But yeah, homie went through like 200 girls in like the 10 minutes that we were like next to each other at the gym. So bro probably went like that. Like, it's not like that was probably his only swiping for the day. Bro probably swiped on like 100 or sort of like 1,000 girls that day, or that gym session. Seems monstrous to me. Thank God I did never have to try hard with the dating game. I would have been fucked. Thank God I just fell into a happy marriage with my high school sweetheart. Could you imagine how terrible I would be at dating in the modern world? I'd like meet this nice girl or something. I'd be like, so I see on your profile it says that you enjoy like the outdoors. How do you feel with the indoors? What Star Wars movie do you think is the best one? Which prequel do you think had the best memes in it? And what level do you think is the best level to start giving your players bonus talent or bonus feats in D&D for accomplishments in game? No second date? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's like to be 27 forever alone. I don't know what 22 though. Nah, you won't be forever alone, bro. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. Whoa, what is happening, Photoshop? I got some serious Photoshop lag there just for a minute. That's kind of messed the fuck up. I didn't like that. Whatever that wasn't good. I'm not a fan. Maybe it heard me.
It's over, Anakin. The internet believes in Darth Binks. The series is cooked.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. It's all cooked. Ah, damn it. Not Darth Big. What is that game or whatever show or some shit? Some Lego stuff with Evil Jar Jar or something. I gotta see that shit, man. Dude, work on ourselves where we can come together. Dumb AF. Is it? Roper and the average Genshin player with a new character drops. Holy shit, you're right. Maybe that guy was the Genshin player. Maybe those weren't real girls. Maybe that was some like new gotcha game for the normies or something. You're right about that. That could be, definitely could be the case. You know what I never see at my gym though? I never see people like flirting or hitting on each other at my gym though. My gym's like mostly old people. And like, you know what I don't know? I don't know how to make friends in my gym. I always see people that like chat with each other and talk and whatnot. And I'm like, how do you get to know somebody at the gym? Like, I don't want to talk to anybody at the gym. I just want to fucking drag iron and cough. Or whatever. There's a lot of young people that go to my gym now, actually. It's kind of weird. But they're all rich young people. They all got expensive, like, gym gear on. All them girls with them yoga pants all pulled up their ass and shit and whatever. I don't know how I'm supposed to make gym friends, man. I just want to awkwardly wave at somebody and force a smile when I see them at the gym, like, once a day. That's all I want of a gym friend. Did they reference that? Did they? Yeah, wait, what? We'll figure it out eventually, I hope. Wait, what? Oh, I see. You guys will figure it out. I believe in you. I do. I believe. Bunch of handsome young dudes like yourselves, man. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right, that was tedious. Trying to figure out what this fucking belt looks like. Holy shit, could you imagine? Ugh. You know what I should have done for the video sick? I should have done his face first. Fuck. People on TikTok love that shit for some reason. All right, we're getting there. Ooh. The nice thing about the recordings, it doesn't show my dumbass selections. Evan, do you Lord of Timing? Life has a way of kicking you in the dick, but remember you. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's wisdom, man. Tim Yurzow's purchase of anime Robo Wife, dude. Me too. Holy shit, could you imagine? I remember a couple years ago, Duria, they had this like hologram waifu come out or whatever. You get this like waifu hologram computer thing in your house for like $10,000. I told Ella, I'm like, I want to buy one. She's like, you can't have an anime wife. I'm like, I want one. Okay, why is Photoshop lagging? Why is Photoshop lagging? This is not good. This is not what I wanted out of my day. What is the lag from? What am I doing wrong? And how do I fix? Is it good now? I hope. I think so. Maybe. Okay, because that like chopping and stuff that it was doing is scary. I'm gonna save this. Why is it taking so long to save? How big is... hold on. How big is my file? It's only 32 megabytes. What the fuck? Okay, I'm confused. I don't like this. I'm scared. This is really weird. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna hope that nothing explodes on me. We're just gonna hope. Recording's taking RAM? You're probably right, but why all of a sudden now? That's what I don't get. It's just all of a sudden it started like chunking on me. It's not like it's been doing this all day or whatever. It's just randomly out of nowhere. I also have an obsessive amount of RAM though, so what's up, Atari? Okay. Like my pen is or the line's dragging behind my pen, which is really freaking me out. The problem is when it does this, I need to like restart Photoshop. And I definitely don't know if I want to restart Photoshop. I kind of wanted this all to be one solid recording. And I'll be very mad if it... Yeah, what the hell, dude? I don't know if you can... I don't know if it shows up on stream. I'm going to pause the recording. Potentially have to restart Photoshop. Sometimes it's a whole PC reset though to fix it. Oh man. Well, I guess I could do the next recording, just be zoomed in on his face while I'm doing it, like fix the problem, then do... Oh, but I didn't finish his other arm. Shit. Shit, man. I was watching the VOD from yesterday. My humble apologies. Who's this guy again? So Atari, this guy is he is a NPC. He's the archaeologist that is Luna's friend that you will have to go work with. That sound is my PC. I was like, is there like a some sort of mechanical device on? think my computer's overheating. Power Vibes no more? Damn it. I kind of like that. Shit. But yeah, he's an NPC. This is for the Horizon Ventures, one of the 3 portraits that I'm going to be doing for the release. But the piece from yesterday, Atari, you don't need to catch the VOD wasn't much, whatever, it was just some shit. If you want to see what I did yesterday, this is what we did yesterday. This is the sped up version of it. Hey, look, I recorded the whole process. Look at it. Ooh. Okay, I'm having gremlins today. Something is wrong with my PC. Because also, check this shit out. This is also my main monitor right now. So I have my recording in the right over here. Right? This is Discord. All stream Discord keeps like turning to a gray box, and then I move it, and then hold on, is this? Oh yeah, okay. I was afraid that I had some DMs open, and as soon as I move it, it like pops back open, and my PC is screaming at me. Is this recording shit a bad idea? Is the is 3 hours of recording like melting something? What's overheating right now? Oh fuck, I don't have cam installed anymore. Shit, I don't have any way to look at my thermal. Damn it. Okay, well, I mean, like, what I can always do here is so like, if this is the recording on the right here, I can zoom in and do like a zoomed in version of the face, I guess, like on the video's cut, so you see the detail of it like coming together, and then have like a cut in the middle of the video, and then using some sketch software. No, man, I'm besides like World of Warcraft, I don't know. Final Fantasy isn't open, just the launcher is, because I didn't want to open it and check on the house. I have OBS, Chrome, and Firefox both open, Discord, and Photoshop. So what the hell? Gremlins, I say. Gremlins. Recording is maybe not a bad idea, but pushing it to 4 hours is. Well, I wouldn't think that like recording for any amount of time would be different, right? The recording at some sketchy unknown software that's killing your PC. Oh, it's just OBS. Like, I'm using the vertical plugin, which like every big streamer now uses it. This is developed by a streamer. I don't know, man. Oh my god. I think I need to restart my PC is the problem. I don't know OBS had that. So OBS, it sort of. So this is the plugin. It's called Vertical. Right? It's right here. So this is the recording thing right here. I can hit record. It's for streamers that wanted to use it to make clips for their stream. So you can, there's a little button here that it clips the last 2 minutes and creates a vertical. So if I'm drawing or whatever, it'll show my main screen. And then like whatever, and then my camera above it, and I set that up that way. Same thing with for gaming. Gaming shows my main monitor, full screen or whatever is just me and my chat. So, and then for recording, I have it set to a certain point on my other monitor that I can max a window out in. So I don't know, like the plugins, the plugin is like could be considered sketch, but like it's fine. Like like it's what pirate software and all the big streamers use. So it's not built into OBS, but it's a pretty popular plugin that I've had installed for a while. I just haven't used it. So, I don't know. I think I need to restart my PC. To be fair, I haven't restarted my PC in like 3 days. I've just kept sleeping it instead because I've always had projects and stuff I wanted to keep up. So I think I need to actually just do a full fucking restart and then... and then I'll finish this, I guess, off stream so I can post this video tonight. But yeah, I can't imagine recording for more than 3 hours would be an issue, right? Like, if streaming for a long time doesn't affect it, I can't imagine recording would affect it, right? Right? Am I crazy about that? I might be crazy about that. I don't know. Either way. All right. I guess that's it, man. Fuck that. We'll figure it out later. Cool. I'm gonna go get some food, I think, and I gotta take Ella to pick her something up later anyway. So it's actually probably good that I'm getting off 15 minutes early. Hey, thanks for chilling today. I appreciate it. We'll probably finish this piece tomorrow or do an Astral Night thing. But like I said, this week I want to do a bunch of videos and TikToks and shit and have some fun just posting those and making those. So that's gonna be fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Will be the PC being on for days without constantly running stuff that's doing it. Maybe, but I've done it before. I've left my PC on, just slept it overnight for like a couple of days here and there when I've had ongoing projects and tabs and stuff. It's never been a problem. So maybe, I don't know, it's like overheating. Like I hear it right now. I can hear my fans. I don't know if it's coming up on stream, but if it is, I apologize. So anyway, I'll catch you guys later. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Tell me your stories of your D&D games y'all are playing tonight, because I know Azura's playing like 4 games tonight. I think other people are too. I don't know. Either way, have a good one. I'll catch y'all later. Until next time, my friends. Farewell.
Formen